We are living in unprecedented and uncertain times. Thriving in the New Normal is my new TV show created just for you. Are you aware that while most people are surviving during this new normal, others are thriving like never before? Which one are you? Circumstances have never defined the person. Our responses do. What if you could experience the thoughts and behaviors of some of the most successful people in the world and how they have chosen to respond? Let us help you become the person you were destined to be and not just your current reality. You deserve it. Get ready to thrive. Watch my show now on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Google Play.
Welcome back. We're very excited to have you here. I'm Laura Butler and I'm co-hosting with Sarah, who will join me a little later on. We just heard from Dylan Daneka with some fantastic information, on wealth management and how to increase wealth and everything. So we're very excited to have that. And coming up next, we have Katia Ravi. Katia Ravi is a business coach, speaker, author who speaks 3 languages, French, English, and money. She helps small business owners to increase their income, generate leads by reaching a bigger market, and focusing on market problems to build trust with their clients. So we're very happy to have her, and I'll ask Katia to join us now. Welcome, Katia.
Hello, Laura. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. So happy to have you here at the Best You Expo, and we're excited to see what you'll share with us. I keep encouraging people to take notes and, put their chats, questions or anything in the chat, and we'll, hear more and learn more from you. So over to you, Katia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I know you have heard of the TV show, The Dancing with the Stars. So which one? Which one is your favorite? I would love to know. Is it The Boss? Is it Swing? Is it Two-Step? Or is it the sexy, sultry tango? Yeah, one of the things that tango always win, right? It takes 2. So you heard it before, right? It takes 2 to tango. 2 people, 4 legs. One going backward, the other one going forward, yet together they are in unison. True Argentine tango has nothing to do with what you see in Dancing with the Stars. How do I know? I dance tango, I used to teach tango, and I was one of the judges at the International Festival in Los Angeles. So the difference between what you see on Dancing with the Stars, with the rows and very far apart, and true Argentine tango, it's all about connection, right? Connecting with each other. So you have you have the couple, right? 2 people, 4 legs, one going backward, the other one forward, together totally in unison. Nobody steps on each other. So how is that possible, right? She is so grounded to the floor. She connects fully with her partner, listening to him. And together, in harmony, they connect to the music. He is in charge of connecting with the surrounding on the floor, protecting her. When you watch her dance, she looks like an angel. She feels like an angel. She makes it look so easy. Why? She has the strategies and the fundamentals needed to be able to improvise. You see, she knows that just showing up on the dance floor will not make her a great dancer. Exactly like showing up as an entrepreneur with a beautiful website and a business card and a logo is not enough. We want to be like the dancer on the floor in our businesses. We want to connect with our ideal client. We want to have a business that converts. We want to understand everything we can about that client, helping them with their pain point and understanding what we need to say to them. I mean, come on, how can you sell something if you can't articulate what you do? And this is one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs have. I mean, running a successful business is not only you need to have exposure, not only you need to have sales calls on your calendar, but it's truly how you need to have so much more than that. You need to have that connection. You need to understand your client. I mean, how good is a business with no client? It's like a tango dancer being on the floor with no partner. We need to run our business like that angel on the floor. And in business, how does that translate, right? That translates into money in the bank. Showing up is not enough anymore. I mean, come on. Do you think that showing up on your wedding day will give you a great marriage? You see, just showing up and saying, I do, and then that's it, we have a great marriage? No, of course not. And you know that. And you agree with that. Right? You agree, then you're gonna have to put some work into it. Just showing up is not really gonna help you just have the great marriage. You're gonna have to connect with your husband or your wife or your spouse. You're gonna have to go deep in conversation. When there's issues, you're gonna have to bring them up. What about showing up to do a budget? Will that give you great finances? No. Not only you need to show up to do your budget, but every day you need to keep up with your expenses and what comes in and what comes out. If you don't, well, your finances won't be really great. It's the same thing with showing up on the birth of your child. Showing up at birth, whether you're a dad or you're a mom giving birth, or you're an adoptive parent like I am, that will not make you a great parent. You're going to have to spend time. You're going to have to work on your relationship. You're going to have to give some fundamentals. You're going to have to help these little humans as they grow. You're going to have to give them direction. You're going to have to give them discipline. You're going to have to do something besides just showing up on that day. Why do we think that it's any different in business? You see, showing up in your business daily is not enough anymore. I see too many entrepreneurs who show up in front of their computer and get what I call busy. And at the end of the day, they felt really productive because they were creating more program and do more creating, but spending too much time on things they want to have done who make them feel good, right? How often do we hear of entrepreneurs, oh, I need to tweak my website. I need to tweak my branding. I need to tweak my colors. I need to tweak my programs. Well, you need to really understand who's your client before you even create anything. And I know this is Saturday morning for us in America, but afternoon for you guys in England. And this is not maybe what you expected on a Saturday, right? But this is the reality. There is a shortage in our life, in all of our lives, in our relationship, and most importantly in our businesses, about pure honesty. Why is it so hard to be honest? We are scared. We are scared to offend people. Therefore, we're scared to be judged and not get hired to do the job. I mean, today is going to be a very honest time and very eye-opening time where we're going to dig into some of the important pillars of really building a business. Because guys, being an entrepreneur is easy. Super easy. Being a successful entrepreneur is hard work. And that is the reality. Wouldn't you not agree with that? I mean, you have to do money generating activity to make money. Showing up, working on your computer is not going to do anything if you don't do anything to get you out there. These activities are called money generating activities. What do you do who generate money? And you have to do at least an hour or two of those activities a day if you want to be able to have a successful business. You have to have pillars. You have to have foundation that will hold your business the same way that foundations hold a house. The same way that when you were dating, you wanted to know if your partners had the same foundation about political point of view or spirituality, or if they wanted to have kids, right? Before you got married. I mean, everything has fundamental. Every sports, every field of study, and business does too. I mean, here in America, it's the Super Bowl this weekend, right? I mean, do we really think that these guys, these amazing guys, do not practice? Of course they practice. Not only they practice, but my gosh, they practice the fundamental. They're practicing this running, if you have seen them, or they're practicing just throwing, just simple throwing. I mean, everything has fundamental. Every sports, every field of study, and business does too. So everybody needs to learn the fundamentals, and someone refresh their memory, even when they're expert in their field, in their sports, or in them, if they're artists. I mean, I've heard many times that concert pianists still practice scales, and you see it. I mean, if you go to I love classical music, so if you go to the symphony, and if you arrive a little bit early, you actually get to hear them practice their chords, right? The fundamentals are the foundation which everything else rests. And for some reason, we don't think it's the same with business, right? We have spent so much money learning a trade. We maybe come from corporate background, corporate America, or corporate Europe, all of these places where we have decided that we were good enough at something, then we wanted to make a business out of it. And the truth is, we are amazing at our craft. I have met so many amazing artists. People who were photographers, photojournalists, who decided to go into their own, onto their own business, opening their own business, having their own being an entrepreneur. And what they realize is they have no fundamentals. So they're great at their trade, but if you really do not know the basics of understanding how a business works, and then business has different stages, then you won't be able to grow. You see, I always say that all the strategies that we see out there are good. Now, is $29 for a seven-figure business kind of ad is going to get a seven-figure? No, of course not. And we would be foolish to really take that for what it is. But guys, all of the strategies who are out there work, whether it's Facebook ads, social media, but there's stages of business. And you have to look at the strategy who works at the stage of where your business is at, instead of just throwing spaghetti on the walls and just see what works and what doesn't work. At the beginning, it's boring. At the beginning, guys, running a business is so boring. It's the same thing over and over. So you have to be able to have those pillars in place. That's why you understand what strategy work at the business level where you at. I always say our businesses land in 3 different categories, right? It hands into health, wealth, or relationship. And then within that, it's kind of like, take a look at your business. And if you went to a Barnes and Nobles or Amazon, under what category would your business be in? Is it health, wealth, or relationship? And usually most of the businesses fall into one. So truly, what are those pillars? What are those foundations? So the pillar number 1, who is your ideal client? You have to be very clear about who you are helping. You see, when you connect with your ideal client, when you find out what they need from you, and that is the exact specific problem that they need you to fix, and the pain that problem causes them, then you can customize the solution for them. Now you're in business, but you need to know who you serve. And I know this is not going to sound great, because that's not what you want to hear. Not everybody with a heartbeat is your customer. I mean, the problem is we think that what we have to offer would be good for everybody. And yes, it probably would be, certainly, but not everybody is going to buy it. So you really must determine who is your product for, who is your service for, and most important, who is it not for? This will help you whether into your business, whether you're writing a book, whether you are launching webinars, whether you are speaking. If you know who are your client, you have a way of positioning you in front of them. So who are your client? Where are they? How do you find them? Well, first of all, you need to really understand how to study them. And how do we do that? We do what we call market research, right? So call some of your old clients who has hired you before and ask them, what age range are you on? Send survey. I send survey to my people all the time. Why? Because I want to sell them. It doesn't matter how many product or how many services I offer or how many packages. As a business coach, I can offer many things. I always look into what people need. Do surveys. Survey your email list. Survey your past client. Why did they hire you? Who are they? Do they live in the suburb? Do they live in the city? Do they love to travel internationally, or do they love to travel into America? So not everybody, guys, is your customer. The one thing that you want to know is, what do they read? What do they listen to? Do they go to podcasts? Do they read on Audible? Do they read regular books? Knowing all of that will help you really determine where your marketing money goes. It is very important to know who you serve. It's very important to know who you don't serve. I mean, in the back of my book, who came out last year, it was very clear who is this book not for. You want to make sure that you proclaim that. That way you don't waste your time with people then you won't be able to help and who don't need your help. So pillar number 2, so that was pillar number 1, who is your ideal client. Pillar number 2, what pinpoint do you fix? You have to fix a problem. When you know and you found out really what your client needs from you, that's the specific problem then they have, right? And they need you to fix. And then you can customize the solution. Having a problem means you can provide a solution. So what is their problem? And their problem is not using your lingo, right? Use language when you say what you do, then it can be understood by a 10-year-old. Don't try to outsmart everybody. Just be simple, right? The more people can understand you, the more it will be easier. And this is such a misconception. Sometimes I hear people, well, I help people up level. And what is up level is used into one industry, but most people don't speak like that. So you really need to know what is your ideal client having a hard time with, what keeps them up at night, what gives them nightmare. I know for me, for business owners, it's easy. They can't pay their bills. They don't have enough money coming in. They don't know where to find leads. They don't understand how to go and get leads. It's very easy. I didn't say, well, my client. I mean, guys, you have to put yourself at the same level than everybody else, because you will be, number 1, more approachable. And number 2, when you go to a networking event, you won't have people who will just leave. I mean, come on, tell me I'm not the only one at a networking event who has really, gone, to a networking event and someone has told me what they do, and I had to leave, to leave, because I'm like, I still don't know. They were talking to me for 15 minutes. I still don't know what they do. They told me their whole backstory. I don't need to know that. I really don't care. And this is it, guys. People don't care about us. I'm going to say this again. People don't care about us. They care about what we do for them. They don't care about my name. I mean, especially with a name like mine, trust me, they never remember it. But they don't care about my name. Look, when I came here, I did not, when I started my speech, I surely did not say, well, my name is Katya and this is who I am and this is, what I do. No, why? You totally don't care. You won't remember my name. You're going to remember maybe some of the point that I bring to you. And that's really my goal, right? So understanding the pain point of your client is so, so important. You are in sales, right? Being in business is about helping people and making money doing it. So it would help if you can fully connected to your ideal client and know what they need. And it takes work for that to happen, right? As well as research and understanding everything about that person and what's their problem. But really, how can you sell something if you don't know what your ideal client needs? What's their pain point? And guys, I really don't care how broke you are. If you speak to the wrong person and allow them to hire you for something that is not your specialty, you will end up wasting too much time, right? It's going to cost you, first of all, the right client, and the end result is a sad situation for both of you. Both of you will end up frustrated and neither will be served well. So why would you want to do that, right? Because your reputation is everything. I select my client as much as they select me. Why? Because I text them there, right? I promise them, then I'll take them to the 6-figure or multiple 6-figure if they already make 6-figure. So I don't want any bad review. It is my job to do that. So I select them as much as they select me. So for you to be able to do that, you have to be very clear, right? Because clients select you based on your messaging, based on the value that you add to their lives or to their business and of course to your marketing. So you have to be clear about the problem they have, clear about the solution that you offer, but you also have to select them. Like for me, I know I work with very driven people, very driven business owners. And it doesn't matter if they are coaches, speakers, I have had accountants, I have had plumbers, I have had landscapers, a business is a business. So you need to really ask yourself, is this client right for me? Right? And the ability to pay you alone does not make them the right client. So that was pillar number 2. Pillar number 3, network, 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 network. You want to say the right thing to clients so they hear you. You want to have a concise message. That way you will be able to explain what you do in front of the right person. You won't be bumbling and have them walk away from you like I was talking about earlier, right? Like sometimes people walk away. If people walk away from you at a networking event, that should be a red flag, guys. You should be able to know in 1 minute what you do. And you should be able to say it in such an authentic way. You want to know what to say. When you have this, there is a confidence, there is a trust that you install, and when you stand in front of the right person and then you command their attention, they will look at you as an expert. So it would help for you to know your ideal client and for you to want to recognize what they want from you, and you be able to tell them, hello, I have what you want, I will give it to you. Because and I see that with what we call the elevator pitch, right? I mean, oh my gosh, people literally goes to networking event, and first of all, I don't like that name, right? Elevator pitch, it makes people feel weird, and I feel like there's so much in their head before they're doing it in networking event, then they're not even listening to other people, right? They're thinking, oh my gosh, it's my turn, it's my turn, it's my turn. I hope I don't make a fool of myself. I hope I don't forget my words. Me. My gosh, you're forgetting one important thing. The elevator pitch. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about the audience. It's about what you do for them. The elevator speech is not about, it's not about you. It's all about the client. It's all about the audience. So either you do know what you do and who you help, or you don't. There's no in between. And guys, my elevator pitch changed all the time. Depending, I put stories in there. I have 1 minute. 1 minute is a very long time, guys. In 1 minute, you can have we speak at about 150 words a minute, right? So in literally 1 minute, you can fit 150 words. So choose them carefully. Make it relevant. Make it a story. Make it attractive. Do not start by, hi, my name is Katia Rave, and I am a business coach, and I help business owners, entrepreneurs to make more money. And there's nothing fun about that. You could, sometimes I start with a story. My 1 minute sometimes is literally like about, you guys all know my pickle story. If you have seen me, speak somewhere else and sometimes I just bring, that restaurant, how, the waiter brought me, this burger, I'm about to eat it. And then I smell, I'm like, hey, I asked for no pickle. And the waiter come back, it's like, hey, there's no pickle. And I'm like, how often do we do that in the world? How often then are we so wanting to be right, then we actually make the whole rest of the world wrong. I did it with a pickle. How often do you do it with your finances, with your health, with your kids, and with your business? In our business, we need to be more focusing on resolving problem instead of creating problem. And if we have that mindset, then we'll be more successful in business. So if I can help you to make more money or to bring in more leads, I would love for you, for you to contact me and for us to get together. That way I can help you not to have this kind of pickle things happening. It's as silly as that. I never prepare my pitch. It's just, sometimes it's something that happened in the morning with my kids, which bring stories. Make it fun. I go to networking and it's like boring. You have stories. Things happen in your life. My God, especially with COVID. We all live with like 10 dogs, 10 kids, our husbands, our wives into the same house. We have stories all the time. Bring them into your pitch to be able to convey that to your ideal client. And last pillar, but not least, use speaking as a way to generate leads. I always say, and I always give credit where credit is due. My husband had said that. He had said, speaking is kind of like networking on steroid, you mean, right? So I always use that now. So, and speaking is networking on steroid. The mistake that most entrepreneurs make who want to turn a talk into profit is they hire a speaking coach. In reality, they need a business coach. They need a business coach. Why? Because a business coach is going to help them to use speaking as a tool. It's going to be a tool in their toolbox, right? Help entrepreneurs, thought leaders, anybody who's truly into the small business industry to stand out from others. I have coached some people who were into the landscaping and who are now speaking on stages. And I can tell you that translates into money in the bank, right? Because this is what we hear so often. Oh my gosh, I was so good at my speech, and I was so good, and my speech was great, and me. And my answers to that is always, okay, your speech was great. How did that translate into money in the bank? Right? And that leads me to the next thing. We need to keep track. Keep track everywhere you speak. And what is the return on investment? How many people download your freebie? How many people really, reach out after you when you ask them? And if you don't get anything, you don't go back speaking there, right? You have to have a strategy. A lot of speakers have so much money sitting on a pile of business card or on their CRM, piling on their desk or piling on their computer, and it's all sitting there because they don't have follow-up strategy. I can tell you speaking coaches are amazing. I had one. But when you really want to use your speech to convert into money, to convert into, I want to convert the audience into leads. I want to convert the audience into having money on my bank account. There is something to be said about the strategy before the speech, into the research. And there's an anatomy into a speech, right? An anatomy who will convert the audience. And then there is a huge follow-up strategies, right? Then a speaking coach won't give you that. And one of the things that I said, that it's true that right now, there's nothing better than speaking. Nothing. I mean, we can speak. I mean, look, I am in North Carolina in a little town called Chapel Hill, and here I am, you know, speaking in London. Exactly a year from today, last year, I was in the Bahamas, but not virtually. I was on stage giving a speech, and on February the 28th last year, I was the keynote speaker in Rome, Italy. And I was one of the last airplane who came back actually in America. And I really saw what was happening in Italy before it kind of happened here in the States. So as soon as I came back, I was able to develop a strategy for my clients on how am I going to help them to take the stage, right? So I put up a daily show called Business Answers with Expert, which at the beginning, of course, I interviewed my client. And I was doing these Facebook Lives interview literally on March the 5th, and we have now over 148 episodes. But all of that to say, then there's so much speaking right now, right? You can speak virtually anywhere. You can go networking anywhere. So if there's nothing better than speaking right now, for people to see you as an expert, for people to see you as a different person than all of the other people. I always say we're never in competition with others, right? There's so many business coaches out there, but there's only one Katia Rabi, right? Who has an immigrant background, who has the energy that she has, who has the strategy that she has, who is very well known, who has been published, who has a book. I mean, each of you as an individual is spectacular. And when you get on stage, people get to acknowledge who you are as an individual. So in many ways, you eliminate the competition, right? And so if there is nothing better than speaking right now, right? How good is a speech if when you're done, nothing happened? And I always say, we as speakers, I see too many speakers who get on stage for ego, and we need to get on stage for giving, for serving, and for profit, but not for ego. Ego doesn't work. And you know, this is what I tell all my clients when I train them to stand out on stage. It's we stand out by giving and giving and giving. We can stand out in our digital space, into lives, into now Clubhouse, and we need to really turn our attention into serving and profit. Because a business with no profit, a business that's not making money, is not really a business anymore. So I would love for you guys to, if you want to have kind of a recap of everything that we said, I am going to go over that very quick. So your pillar number one is you need to know who's your ideal client. Your pillar number two, you need to know who's your ideal client. Pillar number three, you need to network. Pillar number four, you need to speak. Speaking is a great, great way. And if you do not know what to do, like a lot of time, like as a call to action, or what do I need to have ready when I speak, I prepared that for you. So if you go to speakingoffersecrets.com, speakingoffersecrets.com, you will have 15 pages of tips and strategies on what you need to do in your speech to be able to convert the audience. And guys, whether you take this, this freebie or not, I leave it up to you. But don't let this presentation just be another presentation where you watch all these amazing speakers and the light bulb went on, right? And then as soon as you leave this conference, it goes off. You see, this is a time, guys, to be exceptional as business owners. So many people have taken this time to become entrepreneurs. We have to be exceptional. We have to give, we have to serve, and we have to make money as serving. I want to wrap it up by telling you then I'm a great regular girl. There's nothing that exceptional about me. I am exceptional, but there's nothing. I don't have an MBA. I graduated college at the age of 42. I am an immigrant. 28 years ago, I did not speak English. I came in this country not speaking English. So I assure you, if I can do it, if I can be as successful as I am, I know you can do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Katia. That was great. I was making notes myself here. Such insightful information. And you're perfectly right. It's not about the individual, it's about those you serve. And that's such a powerful message, because sometimes we get lost in that moment of just trying to market ourselves and share what we do, that we oftentimes forget that we need to really focus on what it is we offer and to know exactly who our clientele is. So thank you so much for that. I know you mentioned you had an upcoming conference as well.
Yes, yes.
About that?
Yes, people can register. It's an entire conference of 20, with 24, 25 speakers, and people can register at moneyandspeakingunleashed.com, moneyandspeakingunleashed.com, and basically it's a bunch of speakers who are going to come and share their victory on how did they really make it to 6 and 7 figures by using speaking as a way to generate leads and to close clients.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Where can they reach you as well, Katia?
You can reach me at Katia Rave, Katia, Katia, Rave, R-A-V-E is a great way to remember it. And I'm on all social media under that name.
Yes, and it's great for our viewers as well to make notes of all the speakers, reach out to them, because invariably there's always something that we're doing, right? There's so many events that we're offering. As I mentioned before, we have an exciting women's conference coming up in March in Dallas, Texas. But it'll be virtual, so people will be able to access it. But along the lines of what you're saying, just really dealing with the challenges women have and really helping to empower each other and share valuable information that's relevant, applicable, and useful. So that is really what we love about the Best You Expo, because Bernarda has a fantastic gift of bringing amazing people from all over the world that are really making a mark, really contributing to a powerful legacy. And we're very proud to be a part of those initiatives. I know you spoke also at the one in Dallas, the Best You Expo. How was that for you?
Oh, it was great. And I spoke at the one in Miami as well.
Oh yeah, how was Miami?
It was awesome. The energy of everybody was amazing. So it was really, really good, and this is this is my third one, and I just love it. I love the all the other speakers and the energy there is. So
yes, and the thing too is that there's speakers from all over the world working in different time zones. I mean, here in Texas it's 9:30 in the morning, and you're an hour ahead, and in England they're 6 hours ahead. So it's really great that people who are driven and really wanting to share have always been the ones that and talented, gifted, knowledgeable, but they've always been the ones that Bernarda have been able to pull together those with a huge heart that really believe in what they do and have seen successes and really want to share. So thank you, Katia, for being with us as always, and wishing you all the success with your conference and your continued endeavors. So
thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You too. Okay, and now we'll go into commercial. Stay with us.
My passion is to set people free by helping you transform any area of your life more effectively and faster than anything you've tried before. I do this by unique abilities gifted to me through 2 near-death experiences that allow me to help you change your frequency, changing your life.
Hi, it's Bernardo Moy. I'm the founder of The Best You. I wanted to share with you my vision, my dream, the concept of The Best You. The well-being industry is worth $3 trillion. Why? Because everyone wants to become the best version of themselves. The well-being industry is massive, but there isn't a place where you could connect with everyone, a place where speakers, authors, leaders could share their expertise, and a place where people that are looking, seeking, interested in finding that knowledge for them to connect. So The Best You is a multi-platform, global platform. And what we have is we have a variety of products and services. Our first thing is the Best You Expo. Now, we've been doing this for the last 5 years, and over these last 5 years, we've had close to 70,000 people attend, and we promoted more than 700 speakers. Additionally to that, because we filmed every single event, we have more than 700 talks from world leaders, all in one library of content. Additionally to that, the Best You magazine with interviews with world leaders and experts on any and every subject related to personal and professional growth. And one of the most exciting projects that we're involved in now is the Best You Legacy Clubs. This will become the biggest, largest network for people in personal, professional growth. The Best You is now the fastest growing personal development platform on the planet. And the reason being is because we literally cater for anyone and everyone's needs in the well-being industry. Look, the difference between this event and any other event that you've seen out there is that the Best You has a very clear purpose. Our purpose is to help individuals find ultimately what they're here for, what their legacy is going to be. But we only really work with like-minded individuals. We work with people that believe in the same kind of values that we have. And that is that personal and professional growth is about helping others, not only helping yourself, if you know what I mean. Because there's a lot of that. There's all these events which are literally sales fest. We're not that. If that's what you're looking for, you need to go elsewhere. But if you're interested in working with a brand that has a phenomenal reputation, that is only working with the best, I hope you join us, because this is it.
Now, the Best You Personal and Professional Development Virtual Expos are happening globally in 2021. If you are a coach, a motivational speaker, a therapist, and are looking to transform your business, build a community, and generate customers from a global audience, this is the opportunity for you. Now is your chance to join forces with the Best You, one of the largest personal development brands on the planet. Book your speaking slot, your virtual booth, and get tickets to attend now.
One of the things I frequently say is that we don't think about what we're thinking about. And not only we're not thinking about what we're thinking about, we just have really terrible thoughts. A lot of people just have this terrible internal dialogue, which all they're doing is just being detrimental to themselves. They're saying terrible things to themselves. So the first thing you need to be is you need to be aware. You need to be aware of your thoughts. You need to be able to think what you're thinking about and making sure that what you're thinking about are things that are going to help you, empower you. And that's what I say normally, is that the quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions you ask yourself. If you ask yourself empowering questions, unconsciously you're going to start finding ways in where you can find a solution to that, to go where you want to go. And one of the things I really find interesting and fascinating that there's so many people that think, but then they think small. Oh my God, why would you? If you're gonna think big. It's free. Think big.
The Best You Online. Featuring in-depth interviews, motivational talks, and inspiring masterclasses from the world's top experts, motivational speakers, business gurus, and thought leaders. Leaders and influencers from all over the world are here to share their knowledge and skills with you. With over 500 speakers, The Best You Online is a priceless mine of personal development wisdom, knowledge, and practical information to help you take charge of your life and take you, your business, and career beyond where you have always wanted to go. The Best You Online.
You can imagine if you go out to compete, and I'll give you an example, an Olympic Games. Think how many millions of people there are on TV watching you. Not just that, you then start thinking about all of the people that you've grown up with can then be watching you on TV. And then you've got potential sponsors. Then you've got your national governing body. You've got your coach. You might have your family in the stands. You don't want to let them down, all of that stuff. And I actually remember for my first Olympic Games, my family was so scared for me, thinking, what about if he messes this up? What if it doesn't go well? And I just said to them, you need to realise that I have achieved one of my dreams already because I've qualified for an Olympic Games. And when I qualified for the Olympic Games, actually it was by surprise. So that was another big shock to people. But when I went out there to compete, there's so many people was wishing me well, walking out, people shouting my name and stuff. I just thought, well, how can I fail out here? People are showing me such love, I suppose, really, that it took me by surprise. And so I actually went out there and really enjoyed myself and actually done myself justice at my first senior outing.
And how do you stay focused and motivated? Because, it can't be easy going out there and preparing for another race and training and taking care of yourself. How do you stay focused?
I just focus on my end goal. It's as simple as that, people have asked me many times how I got through all of these injuries. Why haven't you stopped? It's for the love of what I have, what I do. I told you from 7 years old what my dream was. And I feel I have unfinished business, I suppose, within the sport. And I love what I do. If I didn't love it, I definitely wouldn't do it. If I didn't feel I could perform at a high level, I wouldn't do it either. Because both of those things are linked for me. I do love to compete and I love to triple jump for sure, but I love to do it at a high level. So they're linked, but that's what drives me every single day that I'm training, is the love that I have for the sport and, the actual goals that I want to achieve. And the times when it's been hard, I've always refocused on that. Because I've been able to refocus on that, it's pushed me through. Now, I'm not saying that the times that were difficult, I didn't allow myself to feel those feelings, because I think it's quite important that we have to realise that we are humans, firstly. We are built of emotion as much as people don't want to. And I often find this with clients that I work with. They say to me, I want to be resilient. I never want to be upset and stuff. I get too upset, etc., etc. And I always say to them, well, are you human? And I'm like, of course. I'm like, well, being sad is an emotion. So there's nothing wrong with being sad. It's how long you keep yourself there for. So the times when I was injured, I would literally just, after a while, I say to myself, enough's enough now. Stop beating yourself up, stop being silly with all of this now. Now it's time to refocus and push back on. But I would allow myself to have that moment of being sad. And as you can imagine, naturally, there's been times I wanted to walk away from the sport. It's only, so many times you can keep getting hit without feeling those kind of emotions. So I have contemplated, I thought, I don't want to do this. This is getting a bit tough now. This is getting rough. And every time I've got to them, I'm like, well, for sure. I absolutely want to push through this. And not just for myself, actually. I want to show people that you can get out of these difficult situations. You cannot get out of difficulty. And I want to inspire other people to actually do this also. Again, in whatever walk of life that it is, no matter what life throws at you, you can push through this. You can still strive. You can still achieve your absolute goals. You just got to have that belief. You've got to have that hunger. You've got to have that desire. And you've got to have the strength of character to really push on for that.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yes, welcome back. I love Nathan Douglas. I actually met him speaking at the NLP live talks, and he is such an incredible athlete, and he does such amazing stuff. He really is. You know, when you walk in a room, Laura, and then there's just somebody, you just feel their energy is good. He's just one of those people that everyone's sort of attracted to. He's just such a decent guy with so much inspiration. His Instagram page is so inspiring. So yeah.
It comes through too when he's speaking. You can see how genuine and he really is, and how he truly feels about what it is he does. So he's a true inspiration.
Yeah, he is. And when someone, I think it really helps when you meet these people that you've seen maybe on screen. I've seen him on TV at the Olympics, and when you actually meet them in person and they're the same person, they're just real, and their heart energy just shines through. Yeah, it makes it's just so lovely when people are just the whole package,
Agreed. And they're the ones I believe have the greatest impact, because people can see sincerity. They can really tell if a person is genuine about what they do and how they feel about it. So that's always good. Listen, Sarah, we've been having some great speakers. I mean, Dylan Danaka was just excellent. He spoke about frequency is currency, and currency is frequency. And all that he spoke about, how to think, and the flow of money should be like the flow of love, and more will come. And then Katya Ravi, really went through some very interesting and key steps about making it about your audience and not you, focusing on what it is you have to offer. And that it's just some great information and good reminders as well. So that's always awesome to see.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I mean, I train people to become breakup and divorce coaches. And one of the things I talk about is, your story is interesting when it is showing people, demonstrating something you're talking about. But, really people are tuning in to learn from you and to get tips that they can implement in their life. So yeah, what's in it for me is the key for when people are listening. So yeah, I thought Katya was brilliant.
Yes.
Really inspiring.
Yeah.
And it's been brilliant.
Sure. And we can relate to that as trainers, speakers ourselves. I mean, as a brand coach as well, it's all about developing your unique skill. It's not about following others. Bernardo is always saying that, and it's so true. Really being secure in who you are and looking at your God-given talents, and bringing it to the surface and sharing it with others. Because I do think we have a responsibility to contribute to the next generation and really make a mark in terms of a positive legacy. And this is what's great about being a part of the Best You Expo, because it's all about that. And leading the Best You Expo Legacy Club here in Dallas, and there's so many around the world, and they're growing in numbers because like-minded people are coming together, recognizing that we're not in this alone, and this particular time has just reminded us of what's ultimately important, the values, our families, and what life is going to mean to us, or to us, and just taking things a step at a time, just loving each other, sharing, learning, and growing together, and becoming stronger each time.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about the legacy clubs, because that's quite interesting. I'm sure people listening will be thinking, oh, what is that? It's another one of Bernardo's amazing ideas, right?
Absolutely. And he keeps coming up with more and more. But I'm very proud to be a part, to be the director here in Dallas. And really what it's about is just continuing supporting people to grow, and not just professionally but spiritually as individuals, and to see how we can collaborate to make more meaningful impact on society in our respective communities. And we're all leaders in our own right. We don't have to write a book or be a speaker or a consultant or anything. We're all leaders in our own right. We lead within our churches, within the schools, with our children, in so many different environments. And I think once we recognize that and take personal responsibility and see that we too, it's important to share good. The world needs more love. We need love, and we need to, and even though there are challenges with this particular time, Sarah, I mean, this pandemic, it just has really helped us to slow down, and it has given us a chance to really focus on what is important to us. We're going too fast. Everything was just moving so fast, and it has also given us a chance to reposition, review what has been done, what can be done. And now is the time to also strategize and grow and learn. And this again is why this expo is so amazing, because what it is we're doing here is bringing great minds together that are knowledgeable, experienced, very passionate, and really has something of value to share that can improve people's lives in so many ways. And that's what I like about the combination. It's very eclectic.
Yeah, it is. And I think that, you know, the networking that the legacy clubs have as well, it brings so many people together to share their ideas and have a community when, you know, now, especially during the pandemic, we're cut off from other people. We can't share our ideas, or, you know, that we're lost a little bit. So having those communities that bring people together can be really supportive and helpful, can't they?
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And for those who are joining us now, again, I'm Laura Butler with Fusion Consulting, and we have Sarah. Sarah, you want to tell them a little bit about you and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm known as the divorce coach. I'm an author of two books, Uncoupling and The Split. And interestingly, I worked in collaboration with one of the speakers who's on the main stage. I think he might be speaking now, David Fagan, who helped me to put my second book together, The Split. They're both bestsellers on Amazon. And yeah, I mean, I find the Best You has been a great way to meet people. I've worked with so many of the coaches and so many of the business experts that I've met at the Best You. Brian and Janice Muldoon, I often do webinars with them. They've helped me grow my global brand. And I help people to manage that emotional roller coaster after you go through a breakup. You know, the ups and downs, the heartbreak, the conflict, the parenting, the emotional side, but also the practical tips, you know, becoming a single parent and dating again and all those things you go through. So that's what I'm best known for. I think you have a slightly different field, don't you, Laura?
Yes, and that's very important, Sarah, especially in today's day and age when, you know, life happens, you know, the unpredictable, you know, life is just like that. And it's so important to know that there's support out there and that there are people in the respective fields that can help. And if people don't know what you're going through, then and if people don't know what's available to them too, then they're at a serious disadvantage. You know, on the other hand, I work with individuals to entrepreneurs, small businesses. I'm also a certified SCORE mentor, and SCORE is a representative to the US SBA and the Chambers of Commerce, and it's a nonprofit. So our services are free and confidential, and we have a mandate to help small businesses grow. But as an individual, a professional coach and business consultant, I really focus working with individuals one-on-one and large corporate groups to kind of help to align employees, give them the kind of support they need to be able to do well and be productive and work in a cohesive manner, and help them to just stay focused on organizational goals, bearing in mind that as human beings, they have their own challenges, right? So we tailor our programs based on each organization's specific needs and challenges that they're going through or goals that they're working towards. And then I spend time with individuals, really helping them to build their confidence, believe in who they are, you know, and just finding the tools that are necessary to help to take them to the next step. And I'm also a firm believer that no meeting happens by chance. It's all by design. There's so many amazing people who come in our lives in different ways, you know, and there are so many lessons there. And I've always found the more you give, the more you get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Genuinely care for people and do good, it comes back to you. And you know, Sarah, if it doesn't even come back to you all the time, but it comes back to your children or your partners or your family or your friends that you care for, you're still truly blessed. So it's just a remarkable time now for people to really focus on the things that are ultimately important, you know?
Yeah, I've noticed actually, I do a podcast called Heartbreak to Happiness. And I interview people on there about their breakups and their divorce. And actually, one of the things that has really come out of that is just showing how sometimes the worst things you go through in life, the toughest times, can actually go on to be the biggest learning that makes you stronger and attracts a better life for you. So sometimes it might seem like the end of the world. And it's not just breakups. You talk sometimes about different traumas or struggles that people have been through, challenges, and then they've built that muscle and they've become somebody different. They've learned more about life. They've actually maybe gone on a bit of a self-awareness journey, a personal development journey afterwards, learn things about themselves. Maybe they don't want, they they want to change, they want to carry on doing that, but also things that, you know, built new skills and new abilities to cope with different pressures, like we all have right now. So yeah.
Yeah, that's important. And changes to bring, you know, give some kind of uncertainty, makes people uncomfortable, and just not knowing if you'll get through it. But one thing I'm sure you'll agree on, Sarah, is that we will get through this. We all, you know,
and our next step is all about that.
Yeah, and you really have to think that way too, because believing that you will get through it is a huge part of the fact, you know, that will help you too. So it's so important. And, you know, I do a lot of work. I lecture at a few universities, and on Fridays, that's partly why I wasn't able to be here yesterday. But, you know, I spend a lot of time working with young professionals as well, because they too have their own challenges. And that even triggered, Sarah, for me to kind of move slightly away from my corporate training to spend time to write a children's book. Because I think more than ever, children need us, you know, and it focuses on the importance of having good manners and respect, having a strong spiritual foundation, the value of family and friends, protecting the environment, and just believing in themselves. So I'm excited about that. It's called The Curious Little Dancing Girl, Izzy, and it's on Amazon as well. But I'm just happy to collaborate with like minds, right? Because I just shared with you so many different things that I do and you do, and we all do. That's what makes us unique. We specialize in areas as a profession, but we're involved with different projects that
just like our next guest, right, Lara J. I'm really excited to get her up and running.
Yes.
So I think people are tuning in now to watch Lara. Would you like to introduce her, Laura?
Absolutely. So Lara J is a spiritual lifestyle coach, light language pioneer, international best-selling author, speaker, show host, and thought leader. Lara J supports conscious leaders, influencers, and professionals around the globe to create deeper connections, more meaning, and a well-nourished soul. Her unique work provides a strategic edge to keep up with their fast-paced life. So welcome, Lara.
Exciting.
Yeah.
People from all over the world are seeking inspiration, looking for answers, looking for ways to become the best version of themselves. And The Best You is launching in 2021 the Best TV series, a place where we will feature the best speakers, coaches, authors, and mentors. Leaders in their own rights, innovators, influencers, inspirers of the 21st century. Coming soon to The Best You TV.
Very long ago, I was living one of those annoying Facebook picture perfect lives. I was a pillar of the community, had a beautiful house, fabulous vacations, owned my own company, great husband, and 2 amazing boys. But what was really happening behind closed doors, nobody knew. One cold winter morning, I woke up it felt like my empty big house. I was separated now from my husband of 25 years. Kids were off to college. I didn't have the strength any longer to sustain my marketing company. I was a decade in at this time of struggling with a very deep depression. I had several other unexplained health issues all going on at the same time. My body hurt everywhere and my hair was just falling out in clumps. I crawled to my couch, curled up in a ball, shaking and crying, as I watched the snow fall during the polar vortex in Indiana. And I thought to myself, this is not the life that I had signed up for. I thought I had signed up for this loving husband, a strong body, a thriving business. But as I sat there reflecting on what my life had become, I didn't recognize myself or my life. was a huge turning point for me. Have you ever not recognized even a portion of your life? Thank you. Well, I began to pray. I began to pray like my life depended on it. And frankly, it did. My kids were making bets that year as to what organ mom was going to get taken out next. Portions of my story may actually sound familiar to you. You may even be living it right now. And during our time together today, I want to unpack for you how important your energy is. And I don't mean your physical energy, although that is important. I'm talking about your actual energy field, where those unprocessed emotions are being held. The foundation of mastering your energy to transform your life or business. I will give you my top 3 spiritual practices and even more if time allows today. And you will have the opportunity at the end of our time to receive a free meditation to help keep your energy clear. And lastly, you will learn what light language is and experience a light language meditation to release those stuck emotions to transform your energy. Now, this light language that I just mentioned, I want to explain that first. So when I realized that my life was a complete mess, I was very desperate. I went to a group meditation where a unique language was channeled. A language, they said, spoke to my soul, not my head, and that it was a healing balm of energy. Now, the problem was, I was having a crisis, not of faith, but how could something that felt so abnormal, new, different, make me feel so good? It was even familiar. So as I sat there in the room, on one hand, my mind was telling me, this isn't normal, it's weird, run. But on the other hand, my spirit, my soul, my physical body, they were responding at a level that nothing I had tried in the past worked. No pills, counseling, anything compared to the success of listening to this unique language. I wanted more because I was getting better. I began to feel lighter, different, at peace, transformed. One day, I even had a memory, a very vivid memory of me as a young child, actually speaking, writing, and hand signing this language. You may even know a child, or you yourself may have even spoken this. I struggled with what was happening. Questions continued to float through my head, like, what am I saying? What's its purpose? And most importantly, would I start blurting this out when I was in line at the grocery? I didn't want to embarrass my kids. Well, I didn't have any answers. All I knew is how it made me feel, and that was amazing. My health was improving. Things I had struggled with all of my life just began to fall away. I began to feel present, have more energy, and a lot of clarity. I felt the power in this gift, and my soul was just screaming at me to share it. And this language, like I mentioned earlier, is called light language. It seemed to be my missing piece of the puzzle in getting my health and my energy back. This language itself was an energy with power. I wanted to understand what was happening, so I began to study energy and how the light language affected it. I'm sure you've heard this quote before. Nikola Tesla says, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So I began to see the power. I began to see the power in this unseen, invisible world, in the intangible concepts that some of us are just learning about: intuition, connection, knowing. It's where this invisible force is so strong that it shifts reality. Yet the visual proof of it, actually seeing it with our eyes, is elusive. How do you explain that which you can't see? How do you master the invisible? It starts with knowing. It starts with knowing it's there in the first place. Think back with me to 10th grade science class. You'll recall that everything in the universe is made of energy. Physical atoms are made up of vortices of energy that are constantly spinning and vibrating. This invisible energy is present all of the time, despite the fact that our human eye can't even see it. So we are all these energy bubbles walking around, spanning about arm's length. Picture that with me. An energy bubble spanning around arm's length. We're spirits in a physical body with an energy field that outlines our body, called an aura. Now, this auric field, it can be read by scientific devices. It's proven to exist and change depending on what's happening in your environment. Within your energy field, within this bubble, are the secrets, your secrets to having happy relationships, making great decisions, financial stress or success, vibrant health, plus much, much more. For example, have you ever wondered how when you walk into a room full of people, it seems you always end up talking to the right person, the right people, and avoiding those that don't feel right to you? Well, it's because you're intuitively feeling energy. Your spidey senses are drawing you, literally drawing you to like-minded energy, familiar energy, energy that resonates with yours. Often, though, what happens, our energy bubbles, remember back where these bubbles of energy, we clash with other people. Now, when this happens, our energies aren't matching. They're not vibrating at the same frequency. So like two magnets, picture two magnets, they are repelling each other, literally. Now, a third phenomenon happens as well. And if you tend to be an empath or highly sensitive like myself, you may even draw others' energy into yourself. This can cause you to feel others' pain and emotions, even as your own, but you think it's yours. Have you ever experienced just getting a quick hug from someone and then all of a sudden you feel what they're feeling? Oftentimes, our fields get damaged in life. Stress, divorce, trauma, bullying, gossip, surgeries, alcohol, even crowds can cause our energetic field, our bubbles, to weaken. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. All of this combined with years of stuck energy, old emotions, and trauma, our bodies become overwhelmed. They can feel like jammed with dense energy. They feel heavy. And like I mentioned, some of the stuck energy and emotions we're holding aren't even ours. Think back to a time when you felt really overwhelmed. Maybe it was 5 minutes ago, maybe it was an hour ago, maybe yesterday. So what happens when you continue to feel overwhelmed? You might also be feeling stressed. You could be feeling addicted or having addiction issues. Could be an emotional or physical pain, health challenged. Or you could just be feeling stuck in life and business. So if you are experiencing any of this stuff, you probably also notice declining productivity, can't get things done, you might be confused, and especially you're unable to make consistent, good decisions. Your clarity has gone out the door. And again, regardless of where this energy came from, this overwhelm energy, this stress energy, or who it belongs to, if it ends up in your field, you're responsible for it. We are each responsible for mastering our own energy. Let me say that again. It's very important. We're each responsible for mastering our own energy. And this is the year. This is the year that you get to own your energy field, that you get to own your body, you get to own your energy field, all of it. If you don't like what's out there, if you don't like what your life looks like, if you don't like what your business looks like, all of that is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. So to change that out there, we change what's in here. And we start with our energy and our energy field. You might be wondering how energy, light language, and transforming your life, how all of this fits together. I'm going to explain that. So by listening to light language, all you do is listen. You listen with your ears, allowing it to stream onto your energy field. This higher frequency dissolves, literally, physically, dissolves the lower energies that are stuck in your field. Light language itself is a combination of over 60 languages. You don't need to figure out the words. It doesn't speak to our head. Instead, it bypasses our head and thankfully our ego, and it goes straight to our heart and our soul. This language is soul language. This language is heart language. It moves stuck energy and emotions. It gets rid of that which you don't want to hold anymore. It helps you in healing. It clears those unhealthy cords and those attachments that you have to people, places, things, even sugar, cigarettes, addictions. It repairs the holes in our energy fields. All of this it does for people, businesses, homes, animals, land, any space, events. Whatever I set my intention to, light language dissolves those stuck areas like nothing I have ever seen. So let me ask you, have you ever been in a bad mood? I have. So if you can recall the last time you were in a really bad mood, were you ready to make an important decision in that moment? Or were you at the top of your game at work? Probably not. So what is a mood? It's vibration, isn't it? It's a frequency and energy. And I suspect that when you were in a bad mood, your clarity was affected. You were probably a little confused or struggling to make a decision. So what about when you're in a good mood? People get married when they're in a good mood. They make good decisions. They commit and challenge themselves. They up-level themselves when they're in a good mood. So all that is a different frequency or energy. So what if you could change your mood, change your energy, so that you could get clear when it's important to get clear and be in your optimal state to make great decisions. That's how you master. That's how you switch your energy to master your life and your business. So in the work that I've done with people, I've noticed when I'm using light language on their energy field, it changes their frequencies. And it has a profound impact on their mood. It has a profound impact on their level of clarity and a profound impact on their ability to make great decisions. I've already said this, but I'm going to say it again. Our life and our businesses, they are a direct mirror or reflection of what is going on inside of us. So if you want a different outcome, you have to do the inside work. For me, this was combining energy work, light language, and spiritual practices. Let's dive into a few of my top 10 spiritual practices that help shift your energy before we do the light language meditation. All of these practices are simple and they're ideally done on a daily basis to help support you while you're clearing energy and stuck emotions. Number one, be still. Be still. Being still for me looks like a cup of coffee in the mornings, generally outside on the deck, taking in nature, watching the sunrise. Being still, slowing down, allows us to stop stumbling through the noise. Without being still, we take guesses at where we need to go next. Without being still, we don't honor ourselves. We can't. There's too much noise coming in. Be still, even if it's only for a few minutes before you head out for the day. Enjoy that quiet time. I have a wonderful client, Jennifer. She was really struggling with some grief and sadness from some loved ones who passed away years ago. She was having trouble with the kids, struggling leading a balanced life. Work, it was work. Money was coming in very slow, over volunteering. She had a beautiful home, husband, family, from the outside looking in. She felt like her life was stuck and heavy. She came to me for help with all of this. We did coaching to incorporate these spiritual practices that I am revealing to you today. We did energy work with her and her husband, with her 2 teenage kids, and as well as a house clearing. Everything holds energy. You have to look at all of it. So when I'm working with a client, we look at not just you and your field, but we look at your family, we look at your house, your car, your animals, all of it. So the energy work gives you a head start. And the light language is how I do my energy work. It gives you a head start to support you while you look within to master your own energy. Now, how do things look in their life? Business for both of them is working very well. Her husband's business, he would invoice people and they wouldn't pay, and now people are paying on time, if not early. Their house feels great. She was able to redecorate and really deal with the grief that she was feeling when her loved ones passed. All of that through the work that we did. Number 2, in spiritual practices, offering gratitude. So while you're embracing stillness, while you're sitting on the deck, having a cup of coffee, I invite you to slow down, breathe deeply, and contemplate all the goodness in your life. What we focus on expands. I'm sure you've heard this before. Whatever you focus on expands. So let's focus on the good things in our life. I have no doubt that you're struggling with something or in some area. But just for a few minutes each morning, I invite you to slow down, take a few deep breaths, and bring in some gratitude, some thankfulness on all that is in your life. And maybe even be thankful for all that isn't in your life. Offer thanks for that expanding bank account, for your family, your friends, your health. Gratitude and appreciation, it sets the stage for the day, because what we focus on expands. If we can focus on being thankful, if we can focus on our expanding bank account, if we can focus on all the love in our life, the universe, God can expand that. Be open to that. I have a beautiful client, Chrissy, physician, mom, wife, and super spiritually connected. She wanted more meaning in her work and needed help balancing all the balls in her life: home, career, kids, health, relationships. So after months of spiritual coaching, clearing energy, deepening her already, she had this very beautiful present meditation practice. I supported her, helped her clear energy, coached her to deepen her meditation practice, work through triggers. She was able to create these deeper connections with her husband, her children, more meaning at work, with her clients, with her patients. And her soul was able to fill and feel more well-nourished through our work together. Another foundational spiritual practice that I'm always led to, and many of my clients are, I get this question all the time: what do I do with the mind chatter? So number 3 in my spiritual practices is observe the mind chatter. So this is what happens when we're being still. We get quiet. Oh, we're going to enjoy our cup of coffee. And what happens? I'm so thankful, da, da, da. And then here comes the grocery list. Here comes the mind chatter. Here comes, why on earth do you think you can do that? Why on earth, all the negativity starts coming through while we're trying to be quiet. And this is often why we don't want our TV off. This is why we always want music playing, because we don't want to hear the mind chatter. We don't want to hear what's going on. So observe. I invite you to just observe the mind chatter. Each of us, we have an average of, I think I've read 50 to 70,000 thoughts per day. That's a lot. And interesting enough, 98% of those thoughts are exactly the same ones as the day before. And even sadder, 80% of those are negative. And when we have negative thoughts, it's very draining to our energy. So if we want to master our energy, we have to pay very particular attention to our thoughts. And once you notice these thoughts running in the background, you get to choose to change them. But it first starts with awareness. When I was sick on the couch for that year, I did a little experiment on myself. And I knew that thoughts created a chemical and that it was being sent to my body. Like I mentioned, organs were shutting down, my health was really deteriorating. So I knew chemically that all of these negative thoughts going through my head were sending chemicals to my body and telling it to shut down, telling organs to stop working, whatever it is I was thinking. So as I got quiet on the couch for that year, felt like I had a seatbelt put on and wasn't going to go anywhere. I was going to figure this out. So I experimented on myself. As I got quiet and these negative thoughts started coming in, it was almost like I captured the thought, but I became aware of it and I thought about it and I thought, is this really true? I asked myself, is this usually a negative thought? really true. And if I could find 1 ounce of it not truth, I would reverse it and start telling myself the opposite of it. And it wasn't very long before I started to feel different chemicals going through my body. Along with the light language, all the energy work I did, the journaling, the writing, the meditation, all of that combined. But it started with this. All of that combined helped heal me, helped me to be who I am today. But it started with being still. It started with observing the mind chatter and being aware of it and understanding that I had at any moment, I have, and you have the power to choose that negative thought or that positive thought. And even you can even think of it like those old school radios that we used to have, where you might have it on one channel and a song comes on and it's not something you want to hear. So you get to change the channel to a song that is more in your frequency, in your vibration, something more positive. Maybe you don't want to listen to the news channel and pour that energy. And you do need to know that the news that you listen to, that is all energy going into your body. Do you want that in there? I have another client, Sarah. She's struggling to get her healing business going. She knows that her business is a reflection of her own energy. And she knew she needed to do the inside job of clearing away all that stuck energy. It was holding her back. It was just holding her back from her own potential, her own greatness. We did amazing spiritual coaching for a few months. We uncovered the blocks that were holding her back. Through our work together, she raised her vibration, expanded her consciousness, and she was able to perfectly align to her own true soul purpose. And for her, it was based in the mind chatter, the old story of, I'm not good enough. Today, she is rocking her business with a steady flow of income and loving that her business is so meaningful to her and it's in line with who she is. Number 4 in my spiritual practices that I strive for every day, but this is one that is very important to me. It's practicing mindfulness. So mindfulness is a little bit different than meditation. Mindfulness is when you begin to focus intently on the present moment. So whatever you're doing, you can be mindful. You can be mindful while you're eating, while you're walking, working, talking, yoga, breathing. So paying attention to what's in front of you. Now here's the key. Without judging it. Paying attention to what's in front of you without judging it. Those basic 5 senses. Bring those in right now. We're being mindful. And my last spiritual foundational practice that I'm going to include in this talk, I actually have 10 of them. I'm giving 5 today. The rest can be found on my website at larajay.com, LARAJAYE.com. My very last one is including meditation in your day. And a lot of people use mindfulness and meditation interchangeably, and they're actually not the same thing. Meditation is a form of being mindfulness. It cuts through our subconscious. All of these patterns that are already programmed in our subconscious are running the show. They're running the show. So I want you to imagine with me for a minute, you're a computer and got your computer screen up and you're trying to work there. But what's happening? It's slowing down. It's really heavy, it's bogged down, and you're wondering, why is this program not running? This one program that I'm focusing on that I want to do, why is it not running very efficiently? It's because there's 30 other programs running in the background that are weighing down the computer, that are weighing down you, that are weighing down your computer. And when you meditate, it goes straight to those 30 programs that are running in the background to help dissolve those, to get rid of those old patterns. It was interesting when I first started to meditate, I could feel a difference. When you meditate, every cell in your body begins to fill with more energy, different energy, and it gives you this incredible joy and peace and enthusiasm that you probably didn't have when you first started. And like I mentioned, these old programs that are running in the background, they start to get disabled. Remember when I mentioned that things I'd struggled with all my life just fell away? This is how they began to fall away. Meditation. If you would like to download a free light language meditation to put on your phone or your computer to keep your energy clear. Now we're getting ready to do a light language meditation, but if you want one that you can actually have, if you like what you hear, please go to Laura J Energy, and I'll spell that .com. So it's LARAJAYE energy.com. And I will put it up on the screen. And with that, we're going to do our light language meditation, which I know you are eagerly awaiting. So just for fun, we are going to demonstrate how I clear energy fields and use the light language. And I invite you to participate. You can keep your eyes open, closed. I find typically people enjoy the experience a little bit more with their eyes closed, but it's completely up to you. Now, what you may hear is very odd. Others you might feel like it's familiar. It might even feel like an old song that you've heard before. So regardless of whether you recognize this language or you don't, I ask only that you'd be open to this experience. That's all I ask. Regardless of whether you recognize this language or you don't, I ask only that you would be open to this experience and allow yourself to receive it with no expectations. No expectations. So let's begin. Take a couple deep breaths. I usually breathe in through my nose. Hold it. Out through my mouth. Breathe in through my nose. Out through my mouth. Feel your feet firmly planted on the ground. Continue to breathe normally. Feel your body. Bring in the senses. Let's become very mindful of our body, very present with our body right now. Maybe put one hand on your stomach area, one hand on your heart area. Continue to breathe into that area. Feel it. Check in with your body. What is your body feeling right now? Can you name it? Just notice it. No judgment. Only awareness. Only awareness. Think of one issue, just one issue that you are struggling with, or something that you're ready to release. So right now, one issue that you were struggling with or something you were ready to release, I want you to name it and notice what it is and where it is in your body. And when you have it named and you notice where it is in your body, move your hands to that location. What is it and where is it in your body? Continue to breathe. Continue to breathe. Focus on that one issue and where it's sitting in your body. Oftentimes we hold a lot of sadness and grief in our heart area. And again, just to listen to the light language like you're listening to a beautiful piece of music. You will get exactly what you need. It will pour divine love into your energy field. You are completely protected. This is an energy, a vibration, a frequency. Kailama a ye kaliundara lama le de undara ye korai mani yanga le pekokama. Zebeyunto la male ki yoko kayaki yaki 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 yaka. Kola male ki yaki amo neondari yaki yaka. Zebeyunto la male ki yoko kayaki yaki yaki yaka. Do o kinga yuk supi yoko kama. Ti yungo la male pelamale ki yesapa. Ko oringa yesa yungale pelamo pe yoko kayuko kama rienga. Onda elama pelamo pasa kama. Do udamale miutormale ki aka. O male pelo la male correndere yoko le bebe me ka yoko ka. Kiuma na malamali pelemelima korenga yese yoso. Zebo la male pela mari ingo yoso yon kale di andari kale di andi ki. Kiyungo la malama kala pe ki Kiyungo kapala mala yendere yokale milama. The yundare yete yote yingala para mea ma yungo kaya se yoso. Oringa yese yuso mane de yendere yaki kaya ka. Izibuto the mali ingi yukoka ma kayoko kaya ki kia. Do you cook la malama e koringa yuso yumana yinga yaki ka. Do you mana yingo yiki yukoka yaka. Koyinderi utora lama kala manamari yenderi yukola malama. Onda la manamanda yingo yoso yondara yukoko yamarama. Kiyundara lama kiyukoka yukoka. Kolandari yukoka yungoka yeseputo. Kayoma ala yukoka. Tiutora yondari yeso lama lindari kiyoko. Kalandari kayukoka la malamari yenderi kala nani ondara yukoka. Kiuso mari ingaya kiyaka. Kiyumanama is ebonte la mala ingaya so. Kuyamara mari in the riti utayonda yaka. Diusapa, Kiyukora mala pilamalama, Zibiontora ma calabarama se yesiapa. Diukola mo kala pelamari inga yesiata. Kiyungo ka kama, Kiyuko kama mama la mala pelamasaka. Zibona mala pelamari ingaya ka. Taulamo a alaboba ki uso malamiuto kalabadamalama ki kokama dieta. Koranda da bonandari de yandari se yosa karindri yuko koramo korlama ki uso o ala ara eko o aranga yesa. Diuko la momano nyanga ki uso yamri yandari kiuko ko a esabiuto la mobile mama la kalama e uso pe mamayata. Ko o a ela po o lama le korea meto. Kio so yamri enderi ko alama. Kio monamari enda. Korenderi ki ko kalamo briundari ese yo somari engori endore lama. O ala blemo de yengale durama la blemo ka yuko. Kio somari enderi ko. Korandare mo pelamo. Kio so yomo. Ki elabo kale blumo de yenga. Eolama kalamo pa. Eze bona mote. Kiko kama. Kiyosukaramata. Take a deep breath, a couple of those. Very slowly. Wiggle your toes, your fingers, your arms, your neck. Deep breath. Come back into your body. Feel awake, alert, energized. Whew. Welcome back. You may or you may not have felt or seen anything. You may not even feel different. But I personally have no doubt that you got exactly what you needed from this experience. And it will unfold for you as is perfect. When I'm working with a client, it normally unfolds over a 7 to 10 day period, easily and gently and lovingly. We don't have to judge it. We don't have to label it. Just observe. Just observe over the next week what's happening for you. True healing began for me when my stuck emotions were released. My marriage ended. I sold my marketing company. And although I was diagnosed with a chronic autoimmune disease, my health continued to improve with light language energy sessions. It's true. We're these spiritual beings in a physical body. Yet we have been conditioned to place so much value only on the physical, on the material. We've been taught to praise only that material success and subconsciously put immense worth only in what we can see, feel, and touch. And like I mentioned, if you would like to download a free light language meditation to keep on your phone or your computer to help keep your energy centers clear, go to laurajayenergy.com, LARAJAYE energy.com. I would love to hear from you. I would love to know what you experienced. And I would love to know how the next week unfolds for you. And this new information that you have, or maybe it's old information that was just a reminder. Well, I personally have witnessed firsthand the power of the unseen. And I invite you to consider with me that energy really is power. And make this for you the year of mastering your own energy field by using these spiritual practices and light language. It'll allow for you to live out your most amazing life. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome back. Now, wasn't she amazing? Just absolutely fantastic. So different, so inspiring. How do you feel, Laura? Oh, you're on mute, Laura.
Yes, very relaxed. That was very good, very enlightening. And you know, it's so important, as she said, to be still, to find that time for ourselves throughout our day to just be still and, you know, be centered. So that's important. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm also excited because we've got some great adverts coming up now. We've got John DiMartini, who is amazing. I've met him several times at the Best You Expo in London and in LA. And then we've got an extra special video on how to be motivated, which I guess a lot of us could do with right now with everything that's going on. So we're going to run some adverts. And then after that, Pablo Rosero will be here, who I'm super excited. He's going to be speaking about discovering your calling. So make sure you're back at 5 o'clock and we will launch off with Pablo.
See you then.
We are living in unprecedented and uncertain times. Thriving in the New Normal is my new TV show created just for you. Are you aware that while most people are surviving during this new normal, others are thriving like never before? Which one are you? Circumstances have never defined the person. Our responses do. What if you could experience the thoughts and behaviors of some of the most successful people in the world and how they have chosen to respond? Let us help you become the person you were destined to be and not just your current reality. You deserve it. Get ready to thrive. Watch my show now on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Google Play.
What is determination to you? What does it mean? What does determination mean?
Determination is knowing what you want. I think being very honest about where you are now, because you have to know your starting point if you've got a goal, if you're trying to achieve something. And it's about not giving up. It's about doing everything you have to, doing things you like doing things you don't like doing. And there's belief in there as well. You know, if you're determined to reach a goal, there will be points which is really hard and it feels like it's not worth it and you might be going backwards, but you have that belief in yourself that you will get there. And I think probably people who know me, they would be polite if they say I was determined. There's other names I've been called as well, but I think it's that ability to push yourself really hard, to believe that you're doing the right thing.
And would you say that is those are your main assets? I'm sure you've got loads more, but
I think determination, stubbornness, being able to dream, being able to have that sort of high-end goal. I think a lot of young people struggle with that, you know, to know what they want to do. I think those things are incredibly important. And the resilience. In the whole of my career, I lost more races than I won. I just won some big important ones. And people forget the first couple of years I competed, or, you know, those things.
how did you keep motivated? Okay, because you still got to get up in the morning, you've still got to read, you've got to work, and you know people are telling you you're not going to do it. What the hell are you doing? How do you keep motivated?
I break that down into a couple of different categories. I always think it's very easy that we could sit here now and decide that we wanted to make £1 million over the next 6 months doing a particular project, and we could sit here and imagine that. Wouldn't it be lovely to do that, and you would go and buy a yacht or whatever it is your money, and I would do whatever it was mine. But actually it's very difficult to an extent unless you are hugely motivated by that towards goal. Sometimes you can just sit and dream about that and not do anything about it. What I did was I did a lot of balancing of the towards goal of shooting the subpar round and the feeling of how great that would be with the humiliation of not doing it, so the away from goal. And approximately 2/3 of us are much more motivated by moving away from something, moving away from the pain, than we are towards the exciting thing. So if you can metaphorically push that button in yourself towards the thing, to moving away from that situation that you're in now, whether it's a bad golfer or a bad business, or a house that you hate being in, or any type of goal, rather than, if you keep focusing on that and about the fact that you're fed up with that you're fed up with the humiliation of that, even though it's really quite an unpleasant emotion, it can be a very strong motivator to get yourself up off the couch, turn EastEnders off, and go and do something about it.
That propelled you to do it.
Exactly. So I focused a lot. When I come home in the evening and I was tired, and really, obviously, as I say, I was annoying my wife, and to get myself off the sofa and back up to the range, that's what I did. I focused on the people who were saying it wasn't possible and how I wanted to prove them right. And that's the thing that would catapult me up much more so than the perhaps thinking how great the subpar round would be and the feeling.
What does it take? I mean, with all the celebrities you've met, sports people, actors, do you reckon there's some kind of common denominators?
Yeah, 100% there is. And I know this because I had to do a speech in my old school. I went back there and I was thinking, what can I talk to them about? And it definitely is preparation. And preparation means practice. And the sort of people I interview are sportsmen or entertainers or artists. And the one thing they have in common, let's just take a couple of them here. 3 of my favourites. David Beckham. I did a documentary with David Beckham. The reason why I did a documentary with David Beckham is people in this country were saying, oh, he's not very good anymore. And it's kind of the time where he's just moving to Madrid. Oh, he's not good. He's not this. He's not that. And I met him at an opening of an Adidas store. And the first time I met him and I started talking to him, and as soon as I talked about football, his eyes lighted up. And that's what we wanted to talk about. And I knew this guy was obsessed with football. And I thought that's unfair that everyone was doing Brand Beckham. He doesn't care. All he cares about is money. And it's so not true. And you could tell. And from that minute, I spoke to his agent and I said to him, let's do a documentary with him, because I think the public, you know, I'm a football fan and I didn't know. They need to know how passionate he is about football. And as I started making the documentary, what comes out of it is that whilst, you know, he's obviously had a great social life and everything, but whilst everybody else was getting changed after training, David Beckham was practicing free kicks, practicing. I remember speaking to David James, and David James said, I never liked Beckham when I first met him, but then we went to England once and we were all getting changed, showered, and we're out going in the car, and I looked out on the pitch and Beckham's still practicing free kicks, and Beckham used to say to JMO, can you stay out so I can practice free kicks against you? He wanted to be the best, so he practiced for longer, for harder hours. Number 2, Noel Gallagher. I like to say Noel Gallagher's a friend of mine now, great guy. Noel Gallagher was busy practicing guitars, songs, everything for years. He was, you know, a roadie within Spiral Carpet stuff. The guy was dedicated. And, you know, you always say people have their lucky breaks. I'm not sure they do. I think they've worked and they've prepared and they've got themselves. They always say luck is where preparation meets opportunity. I remember hearing that years ago, and I've always thought that. They prepare themselves. They really spend a lot of time writing songs, knowing the chords, knowing the tunes. When they broke for Oasis, he had 2 albums worth of material there, ready to go, top quality material. And so he was busy. And when he's standing on stage going, we're the best band in the world, he knows he's got a catalogue of songs he can tune out. He hasn't got to go and write some and get that self-doubt. He already knows he's got 20 odd tracks there which he can say are great songs, which he knows. Right. And the other one who I always think is brilliant is Ray Winston, who's just a really charismatic man. But he made it very early in things like Scum and Quadrophenia. But that body of work that he had when he was young, when it came back when he had his second time round, because it was quite a lot of wilderness years for him, he knew how to get there. He knew how to switch it on for the cameras. He had that ability to do it. And all these guys have the same thing in common. They've worked hard and they've prepped and they know their art. And so, you know, there's 3 different professions there, but they all know their art.
To compete for your country at that level it's just incredible, because it's the peak of anything that you could ever wish to do. So although world championships, Europeans, you know, other competitions were important, for me competing at Paralympics was all I wanted to do. I competed at 5, and you know, when I think about how many friends and colleagues along the way who were all trying to do that, who maybe didn't even get to compete at 1, to then be at 5 was amazing. And I always remember from my first one through to my 4th, always knowing I was going to do another 4 years, that I wanted that moment again, because it's the crowd, it's you have the best in the world who are there, and it's great, huge pressure. And I remember, you know, before each of my finals, being in the sort of warm-up track, you know, about 2 hours before, thinking, what am I doing here? Am I good enough? You know, you ask yourself all those questions. And that's the point where you have to look back at your training and your preparation and know that you've done everything you could. So I like training. Training was good. I mean, it'd be nice to not have to do quite as much of it. But the only way I knew I was going to have a chance of winning was to train 15 times a week, was to do everything in my life to make sure when I was on that start line, I had the best chance. Because, you know, after a race at Paralympic final, you can't say, excuse me, can we just do that again, please? You know, you know, you have 16 seconds, 28 seconds, whatever it is, you have this short space of time to prove that you're good and you can't go back.
And in particular, I suppose, obviously, kind of as important as your training is your mindset. You must be incredibly strong from a mind point of view.
The mindset is hugely important, because it's about having that confidence to know that even if perhaps training hasn't gone right, that you can pull yourself back around. You know, there's definitely races where I was on the start line where I wasn't the best on the start line. But, you know, having lots of experience, I did a lot of different level races. One thing that I did do was race against the British men a lot. And they used to push me around the road. They used to make my life really hard. But then when I was racing against the best women in the world, I'd been through just about every experience you could imagine. So I remember there's one race where my husband, half marathon, literally pushed me into every curb he could find. He pushed me into every corner. You know, he messed around, tried to drop me out of the back of the pack. And then when you're racing in a race that really matters, if that happens, you've got the skills to deal with it. And I think that was one of my strengths, was knowing that you don't want the major decision in the race to be in the Paralympic final. You need to have had all those skills, and you need to have practiced everything you possibly could in the lead up to it.
Yeah, and as yourself, you from a very early age, you were already planning, I'm going to be in the marathon, I'm going to be in the Paralympics. So obviously that mindset and that drive takes you there.
The mindset and the drive is hugely important, to make yourself train every day, actually, because there are some times when, if it's -5 and it's foggy outside and you have to do 20 miles training, you're not there going, yay, I'm a GB athlete, aren't I? Like, you know, and that there are moments when you get to train in very nice places around the world, and it's different. But when you're tired and you've got blisters and you're in the middle of a winter training session where it feels forever before you're going to compete again, you have to have something that makes you go out and do the things you don't like doing. You know, not necessarily the things you like doing tend to be the things that you're good at, but you get most improvement from doing the things that you maybe don't like or not so good at doing. And I think that's one of the things that I was good at, was making myself do the hard graft, because you knew that's all pennies in the bank. It all makes a difference for when you come to that start line. So, you know, my Paralympic career, 5 games, 11 goals, is 19.5 minutes. You know, I didn't have very long to prove myself. So for me, that's why I trained hard, because I knew I had this ultimately limited time to achieve.
I'm a big fan of the word resilience and what it means. What does it mean to you?
Resilience means actually having quite a thick skin. I think because sport and my life in politics is quite public. So people will come and tell you what they think, whether you've had a good race, a bad race, what you've worn on TV, what your hair's like. And a lot of the time they don't mean to be rude. They just care, you know, because if you've been on TV or they've come to watch you race, they're part of that experience. So it's learning to deal with that. It's learning to deal with how people look at you and how people judge you, because people make judgments on me because I'm in a wheelchair, because I'm a woman, because I'm Welsh, because I'm a mum, because I work in London, but I live in the Northeast. And it's learning to deal with all those. And I think resilience is about being comfortable in your own skin, of just knowing that you're doing the best you can, that, you know, you're working really hard, and that, you know, you have this goal and dream, and that's what you're trying to achieve. Because when you look at other people's careers, you just always think they win, and it's all easy and it's lovely, and they just turn up and they do it. And actually, that's not for anybody. You know, that's not how it is. It's hard. It's painful. You know, you have moments of success. You have moments where you just think you can't do it. And actually, that's the reality. And that's why you need to have that resilience and that belief in yourself.
My passion is to set people free by helping you transform any area of your life more effectively and faster than anything you've tried before. I do this by unique abilities gifted to me through 2 near-death experiences that allow me to help you change your frequency, changing your life.
Hi, and welcome back to day 2 of the Best You Expo. Really excited here because we have Pablo Rosero coming up, and he is going to be talking about how to discover your calling. Yeah, and you know, this is what maybe you're sitting around at home right now. We've got the pandemic, which is just affecting everybody across the globe. And what a better topic to have to round off what's been a fabulous day here at the Best You. So a big thank you to Bernardo Moya for putting on the Best You again in London. And I've been at all of them, so I know how awesome they are and how they really help people around the world, bringing some amazing speakers like Pablo right into your living room. So I am super excited to welcome Pablo Rosero.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Super glad to be here. And thanks to Bernardo for making all this possible as well.
Oh, wonderful. So, Pablo, you're the CEO founder of Co-Creation Station, a mastermind aficionado and co-creator, and you've managed a successful web startup for almost 5 years in Ecuador before directing 5 startups simultaneously in the US, while getting a Master of Science degree in an accelerated program. And you're also passionate about optimization, automation, and gamification. And you're focused in 10 times growth and agile methodologies. Wow, that sounds fascinating. And I can't wait to hear more about it.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Definitely all that applied into my new passion, that is co-creating with others and helping people discover their calling. And I have my wonderful team here present to discuss just that.
Brilliant. I think we're going to roll a video and then we're going to get everybody up. So over to you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Co-Creation Station panel. My name is Pablo Rosero, and I have just a fraction of the wonderful team at Co-Creation Station here with us. At Co-Creation Station, we focus on co-creating with others in 4 different stages that we'll mention in just a moment. But co-creation is a word that can be interpreted in different ways. And the way we put it is the win for you, the win for the other person, and the win that both of you can create for everyone else to really achieve that exponential growth that we'll mention in just a moment as well. So with that, I'm just part of the team as well. I want to just go ahead with the introductions for our wonderful team members here present. So let's start with Joelle Stafford.
Thank you, Pablo. Bonjour, hola, and hello, everyone. And thank you for joining us here today. I'm Joelle Stafford. I'm an energy healer and certified practitioner in Reiki, the Emotion Code, the Body Code, and co-founder at Bliss for Life, an international healing space. My role on the Co-Creation Station team is to help release any emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual energetic blockages, enabling the best versions of ourselves and those with whom we work to shine through. Namaste.
Namaste indeed, because that's how we co-create. Namaste, seeing each other soul to soul. So let's continue with the introduction by Brenda Warren.
Hi, I'm Brenda Warren. I'm a retired Marine Gunnery Sergeant, former hospital administrator, an author, a podcaster, TV host, and the lead interviewer at the Co-Creation Station, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you, Brenda. Wonderful. Let's continue with the introduction by Valentina.
Thank you, Pablo. Hello, everybody. My name is Valentina Garay, and I'm a graphic designer and content creator, here at Co-Creation Station. I'm passionate about beautifying the world, giving ideas their best shot, and decluttering and optimizing through my brand design hacks.
Beautiful. Thank you. And beautifying the world is definitely part of our multiple passions here, as Marcelo is an artist and a strategist. Marcelo?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Pablo. Yes, I'm a business strategist and an artist, a painter, and I work on strategy as a mentor for the conscious entrepreneurs. And I'm here to help everyone at Co-Creation Station. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marcelo. I'm super excited to have the team here, and with that, we'll move into the wonderful introduction by Andrew.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew Huțanu, and I'm an entrepreneur on a mission to bring generational wisdom, health, and wealth to the world. My personal development journey led me to engage in more and more meaningful projects, working with people around the world to make an impact with their digital business. All this happened before I started engaging with projects that have impactful missions. That's where I began blending creativity, technology, and my business experience to serve bigger purposes than myself. My experience in the IT and creative industries helps business leaders to focus on their mission and vision without losing sight of their digital transformation. I love deep conversations about meaningful work, moonshots, and life missions. Since October 2020, I'm co-creating with the Co-Creation Station tribe. And thank you again for the introduction, Pablo.
Thank you so much, Andrew. So at Co-Creation Station is all about the win for you, the win for the other person, and the win that you can create for everyone else. And it all starts with 4 stages, which are discover your calling, do what you love, co-create with others, exponential growth. And we were blessed to be part of the Miami panel as well. And we have, and for those that watched that one, we have some of our team members from that panel present as well. So let's go back to Joelle, that she's going to share with us part of her personal journey up to the point of being here in this spirit of co-creation.
Thank you, Pablo. I'm a blessed soul. I was born with the innate love of healing anyone and anything, especially animals, who are great mentors. I followed my heart the majority of my life, like a feather in the wind, with horses and through horses, on top, sometimes underneath, and mostly around. This has led me to various countries and different continents, but I was always looking for something, my soul's purpose, I think. And it wasn't, honestly, until the unexpected, tragic, brutal loss of my parents that I truly found my true calling. Being able to shine the light, even in the darkest hours, for all those affected, helping them heal whilst trying to heal myself, proved to be the most amazingly beautiful experience of my life. That led me to and through multiple modalities of healing, becoming certified in several, and then the global pandemic hit. That allowed me to shift my focus and expand beyond my wildest dreams, discovering Mind Valley and a soul family of like-minded people, such as the Co-Creation Station team and ever-growing worldwide tribe, thus allowing me to co-create with others, leading to the incredible heart-based exponential growth towards bliss for life and for all. Namaste, Pablo.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Namaste to you and to everyone present and everyone watching and everyone around the world. And next we have our team member, Jim Hendricks, and he is so popular because he is Jim Hendricks, of course, that he's having another show right now. So he might be running late, but no worries. And we'll also introduce all about the brain as that is his focus. And Brenda Warren can share about the brain course because she's very familiar with it. And she's one of the people that participated in that program.
The brain course, Jim designed, is a 6-week program that is designed to help you get what you need to get your brain on track and get yourself motivated to really tap into what you need. So we want you to go to our website and look at the brain course, because Jim has designed a program for those people that may have had concussions or brain injuries. And the free part of the course, the first module, is designed for you to get a taste of what the rest of the program is like, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you, Brenda. Indeed. And the brain course is just one of the many gifts that we have available when people go to cocreationstation.co and input their email address. And it's just a wonderful mix of combined gifts from all of us here at Co-Creation Station. But if you do that right now, if you're watching this live, you'll get a pop-up to join a meet and greet and a co-creating art experience right after this live. And stay tuned for the details for that, of course. But let's continue with Brenda Warren, who is going to share some of her own personal story now.
Well, again, I'm Brenda Warren, and as a retired Marine and a former hospital administrator, I had some personal challenges that led me to sit on my couch for 8 years. But then I got off the couch and I stumbled onto this amazing tribe because of Jen Hendricks and his brain course, actually. And so now I get to co-create with all these fabulous people, and I get to do the things that I love while I co-create with others as I discover my calling, and I have experienced exponential growth that has been more than amazing. And I'm excited to have this conversation today with the rest of the team so that you can learn about what Co-Creation Station does and what we stand for. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you very much, Brenda. And Brenda, as many of us, has had her personal journey as well. And she has a book available called Soul Searching, available on Amazon. And as we support each other, I have the book right here, actually, somewhere here. Oh, here it is. There we go. Soul Searching is available on Amazon by Brenda Warren. So really, it's been a personal journey of transformation and going beyond our journeys as well. So going with the four topics or the four stages of discover your calling, do what you love, co-create with others, exponential growth. We're going to start with the wonderful Valentina with discover your calling.
Thank you very much, Pablo. So hello everybody again. I'm Valentina Garay and I'm a graphic designer for Co-Creation Station. And I'm also the founder and head designer at Design Hacks. That's my brand. My passion is to beautify the world, and from my lens and my perspective, I'd like to explain what Discover Your Calling means to us here at Co-Creation Station, and also to me in my personal experience. Discover Your Calling is a beautiful and exciting step. It's the first step of the journey. It's as exciting as discovering that what puts the fire in your belly every morning. That what gets you out of bed, that what makes you think, let's get the day started. It sounds simple in the beginning, but in reality, we're all covered by a layer of dust. We have expectations and opinions from our family, our friends, our coworkers, and even ourselves. That voice that tells us what we should want to do, what we should do, what's the smart thing to do. And then we forget and we lose that connection. So, discovering your calling is about really reconnecting with your true passion, about finding a way to make it work financially as well. It's about feeling so happy and excited that you overcome obstacles. It's about authenticity and doing what you love. When you discover this, it's like wearing your favorite sweatpants. You thrive, you're appreciated, you ignite, you learn, and you grow. For me personally, discovering my calling has helped me align a very basic business idea, which was learn graphic design and go freelance, and take it and adapt it and mold it into something that felt truly mine. Thanks to all the feedback, thanks to all the support, thanks to all the experience with Co-Creation Station and our members, I understood that there are no rules, and I learned how I could become the architect of my own business and life experience. That I can be as creative and free or as strict as it feels good to embrace the power of, authenticity. Here at the Creation Station, I have enjoyed my learnings, sharing, and bonding not only with the team, some of which is here present today, but also our big international community. They speak many languages, they have different cultures, values, different mental structures, and that opens up your mind and it boosts you to find where you really do belong behind the culture scape. And this is just as exciting as the second step. So, doing what you love. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you, Valentina. And indeed, we have a thriving community where we do networkings, masterminds, all focused in the thinking of creating something higher than yourself. But you got to start with discover your calling, and then you go to doing what you love. And doing what you love can be something that you do your own original take, like our very multi-talented and wonderful Marcelo Cortez. So, Marcelo?
Thank you, Pablo. Well, there's not much to say after Valentina so lovely said so much about finding your passion, your ikigai, and clearing all the layers to reach that core of your soul so that you find your calling and then you can do what you love. But there are some steps ahead, you know. I've just seen some researches and there are so many on the topic, but most of people in the world, from 50% to 85%, depending on the research, they don't like what they're doing. They don't like their job. They don't like their work. They even don't like their lives. And they get depressed, or they just, I'm gonna do what I love, and hustle the world, hustle their surroundings and lives. And actually they stop doing what they really love, because when you do what you love, there's an ecosystem around and it all flows perfectly. Everyone, it aggregates. It's wonderful. It's magic. It's beautiful, as Valentina has said. And well, that's my life. I mean, I work on strategy for a big corporation for years. I really love strategy and I really love the corporation. And I love mentoring. I love helping people. I love helping the world to grow. That's why I've joined here at CCS. And as an artist, I also love doing paintings. And I want to do that because I love that. And so one of the magic is to bring all the things that you love and respect the environment around you. So there are so many strategies for you to go through that know-how gap, that skills gap. After you really reach your calling, to start really doing what you love. And then you can grow exponentially. And that's what we are here for, to help you. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you, Marcelo. And Marcelo, with his knowledge on strategy, he is one of the team members available for our Ubuntu calls, which is a combination of skills available to you in a very powerful hour that you can book on our website, co-creationstation.co, as package calls to get everyone started discovering their calling. Marcelo is also one of the artists co-creating with us real time right after this. So stay tuned for the details. And let's talk a little bit about co-creation. Perfect. Thank you, Marcelo. So in my personal journey, co-creation has been something that has come in its own steps. Like many of us here, going through brutal transformation and through our own journeys, like Joel's very powerful message of transformation, of celebrating life. And like the many things that have happened to us as individuals just helps us grow as we start to understand that everything happens for our growth, and it all depends on how you see things. So in my personal journey, it has been a circumstance of being a multimedia engineer, having multiple talents, being able to work at companies like Google, Adobe, and Disney, and thinking that reaching that massive audience was my purpose because I had the opportunity at those companies. But it was also about the message. It was also about the message that I wanted to put out there in the world. And with a misalignment on purpose, and with the multiple skills that I had on my resume as a project manager, a marketing director, I had huge unemployment gaps because it wasn't translated into all the gifts that I have myself to offer to the world. So I made that transition into starting a company where I wanted to share my gifts with the world, and then I realized that my gifts, as powerful as they are and as varied as they are not enough to help change the world. And as we change the world for the better, and we co-create together, it really takes the combination of the skills of multiple people, uh, co-creating together, supporting each other with their own brands, with their own original ideas, so we can grow together. And and after co-creating with others in this way, we can reach exponential growth. And for exponential growth, we're going to have Andrew back on stage with us.
Thank you, Pablo. So exponential growth is all about shifting your average from here to here. But most times, fear can stand in your way. It may look that following your calling doesn't look that fruitful in the beginning. You're being told that doing what you love will never bring you closer to success. You're also told, or you'll be told, that co-creating with others doesn't make sense because it's so new as a concept. But by doing everything together with the support of the co-creation station team, you will get exponential growth. Exponential growth isn't immediate, but it behaves rather like compound interest. It adds up. Once you start the co-creation journey, you'll find the feeling of a family, the support of your team, and the foundation of a scalable enterprise. And in the end, you'll discover that everything is about your exponential growth, because your business will not grow without the best you. There's an exponential growth example called Moore's law. You know that your typical electronic device has a microprocessor, right? And they're made out of silicon transistors. And I know that sounds geeky, but well, the rule coined in 1965 stated that the silicon density on these chips will double every 2 years, and it had ever since. And in the recent years, the performance more than doubled. That's what exponential growth looks like. And during our lifetime, technology became so fast in development, and we're losing track of it. It's sometimes overwhelming even for us, people with technology background. Our smartphones have more power than the clunky computers that were sitting on or under our desk just a few years ago. So how can we keep the pace with this rapidly transforming world? Our vision at Co-Creation Station is to offer you the support you need to leverage your personal potential. And our tribe is here to help you with the tools and mindset to achieve exponential growth. Exponential growth moves you from the average pattern to a whole new paradigm. So get ready for the ride of your life. It's going to take some time to get the gist of it, find your support team, create some accountability, learn the tools, and integrate the best practices. And step by step, in a concerted, systemic way, you will be on top of the wave. Exponential growth can be found in nature also at every step. Maybe you've heard about the golden ratio, which can be found in the patterns of flowers blossom, the waves of the ocean, or one of the most representations in the profile of a snail shell. It's backed by the elegant maths of the Fibonacci sequence. And it's no coincidence that nature backs this. It's in our nature to seek growth, and it's in our nature to be afraid as well. But what would your life look like if you'd make the next step towards your exponential growth? Would it be worth it? So find out more and accept our humble gifts offered by our tribe at Co-Creation Station. I hope that these will be of help in your growth journey. It all starts with discover your calling, then you step forward into doing what you love. Your tribe will help you co-create so that you'll be ready for exponential growth. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Andrew. And that indeed sums up the message of the steps to co-create that reach exponential growth once we discover our calling. And we have the very famous Jim Hendricks now with us. So, Jim, would you like to share we already talked some about the brain course and how wonderful it is, but would you like to share more? Would you like to share your personal story as well?
Thank you, Pablo. I would. My name is Jim Hendricks, as Pablo said. I am not the greatest guitar player of all time, nor am I the Muppet Guy, which is a long joke that I won't tell. But but I was an engineer, manager, psychotherapist. I am a brain health coach. I help people to basically find their calling as well as optimize their brain so that they can go from just surviving to thriving and beyond. I spent decades perfecting the brain course that Brenda talked about, and I hope that you will enjoy that first segment. I was depressed from the age of 7, and I had a psychotic break at the age of 53. I went from basically being very successful to being homeless for 4 months, living in a shelter with 50 other guys. Was not me. I basically went through a whole episode there where just life was not what it was supposed to be for me, and it was through basically changing my habits that I was able to come, or actually honing the habits that I had and acquiring new ones that I was able to get through that. The brain course came about mostly because of a long-standing interest in brain health and brain science, but it really didn't come available to the world until I got involved with Co-Creation Station. They were able to come and help me do some work with the production of the course and the stuff behind the scenes, the making sure that it could actually go out to the world, was all a function of being a part of Co-Creation Station. It's become my family, and we really do help people go from finding their calling to exponential growth. And it's really, it's pretty amazing, and it's a really great to be a part of. I hope that you all take us up on the offer, and hope to see you soon. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you very much, Jim. We are family indeed, and it's great to have Jim in the team. He went through his own transformation, and he's a living example, like many of us here, and the rest of the team members not present, and even the tribe members as well, going through this transformation of turning your personal challenges into self-healing and then offering those as gifts to the world. So with that, we come again to the co-creation stage and to exponential growth. So you're welcome to go to co-creationstation.co, where you'll be able to input your email address to receive 3 gifts. And the 3 gifts are very powerful to help you get started with the very first step of discovering your calling. And the third gift includes a discovery call, a free call, with the combination of the talents of our wonderful team members, and that includes a strategy, that includes the arts, that includes mindset, that includes public speaking, branding, energy healing, technology. It includes so many things that it's a really powerful hour, combined with the ideas and the format that we also use in the masterminds. So you could be talking about branding and energy healing at the same time, because the combination of the ideas in a very powerful hour, it helps you go deeper and think of different ways of connecting those ideas, as we do in the masterminds, as we do in the networkings of the co-creation station tribe. And when you input your email, you'll also be subscribed to our follow-up emails, where you'll also receive the agenda for our upcoming meetings and events as well, and be part of this wonderful growing diverse tribe as well. So going back to the gifts, right? If you go to co-creationstation.co, right now you'll also have a pop-up to join us right after this. But later, or if you close that pop-up, you'll be able to input your email address. When you input your email address, you get 3 gifts. And those 3 gifts to help you discover your calling are a meditation, and actually 2 meditations, one by Denise Faith that is not present here, and one by Joelle Stafford. So how can that meditation help us discover our calling, Joelle?
Thank you, Pablo. Denise, one of our amazing teammates, she did a beautiful meditation. And the gift that I put out there to the world is, it's a bit of energy tools to help you when you wake up first thing in the morning, to help you throughout your day, to help you when you come home, and a mini meditation to really help you ground yourself and get in the flow and be able to find those innate gifts that you've got inside yourself and bring them to the table, so we can all celebrate this amazing feast called life. Thanks, Pablo.
Thank you, Joelle. And the meditation is really powerful because it helps you discover your calling as just one of the many steps, because you need to go beyond yourself through these meditations. But then when you go back into your body, back into yourself, you want to analyze your thoughts, your patterns of thinking, and how your brain works in a more complete and holistic way. And that is our second gift, by our wonderful Jim Hendricks. Jim? So Jim is muted right now.
The brain health course, now that I'm not muted, is it's basically to help you to want a better brain and find out how to get it. It talks through, there are 6 modules total. It covers almost 6 hours worth of material. It took me about 20 years to compile it, although I didn't work on it constantly, as you may guess. And it talks about the care and feeding of your brain, how to basically understand what happens when things go wrong and what you can do to make them better, whether it's a brain injury or a a problem with psychological issues. And it shows things like before and after meditation, so that if you have someone in your life who says that meditation is woo or woo-woo, you can show them definitive evidence based on science that it really makes a difference. And the same is true for things like gratitude. It talks about diet and exercise, and it will also help you to really want to protect your head, your brain, and that of your child. And it's just a very powerful course. Thank you, Pablo.
Thank you so much, Jim, for offering this gift to yourself, to the world, and as one of the 3 gifts that Co-Creation Station gives you when you go to co-creationstation.co and input your email address. So you meditate, you go beyond yourself, you go deeper, then you understand the actual effects on you, and you start thinking differently, being kinder to yourself. And with that, you have some ideas of what you want to create and co-create in this world. And that is why our 3rd gift is the biggest gift of all, which is the combination of our powers, of our skills, of our knowledge to you in the Ubuntu calls. And that first discovery call allows you to go deeper, and it's included for free as the 3 gifts. And after that, you can sign up for a package of 6 months of calls in a combination of technology, branding, business strategy, public speaking, energy healing, mindset coaching, and so much more. So we're here to help you, to guide you, and you'll be able to schedule those calls as just one of the three gifts that we have available for you from our minds, hearts, and souls as we co-create together. So with that, I would love to hear back some closing remarks, starting with Brenda Warren.
Well, first, Pablo, I'd like to thank you again for this opportunity and for Beth You for providing a space for us to let everyone know how fabulous Co-Creation Station is. You see, at Co-Creation Station, we're dedicated to the win-win-win. That's the win for you, the win for us, and the win for everybody else. When we do that, we help you discover your calling, to do what you love, to co-create with others while you generate exponential growth. And that's what all the people in these boxes and all the team members in the tribe represent. You see, at the tribe, we do one-on-one networking. We have masterminds. We have a television station that helps us amplify the businesses that come on board, that we help to discover their calling while they do what they love, as they co-create with others, as they gain exponential growth. And we do so much more at the Co-Creation Station, and we're excited to have you come on board and find out exactly what we do. And I'm just so amazed. And there's something exciting you need to hold on, because Pablo has a really good thing that's going to happen directly after that he's going to share with you after the other people's remarks. So thank you, Pablo, for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brenda, for your energy, your enthusiasm, and giving voice to the voiceless as our professional TV hosting the team. Closing remarks by our wonderful designer, Valentina.
Thank you, Pablo. Well, apart from what Brenda said, we're all just a group of people who are already having the chance of doing what we love. And yet, even there, we're improving, we're growing. So we really would love to have you as part of the tribe. The tribe has so much more that we can talk about. We have blogs and much more content to come. And you will just be like filled with inspiration, support, purpose. It's just a lot. So just please join the tribe and, get it rolling with us. At the end of the day, when we're starting an idea, when we're starting our brands, we don't need the pressure of having to know how to do it all. Why have the pressure? Let's just join a group who is really there to support us, to guide us, to give us feedback, and even do things for us. And that is just, you don't know what you would be missing. So go ahead and go to the website and sign up for free and join us.
Thank you very much, Valentina. Wonderful. And yeah, it's really a very powerful experience for people to just go to Co-Creation Station, get the three free gifts that help you really align and help you discover your calling. And you'll also have the opportunity to get follow-up emails that allow you to join our events and our calls. And if you pay attention to those, and if you want to join as well, you'll be able to join the networking, the mastermind. We even dance on Sundays as well, and we have lots of fun. So it's a wonderful experience for everyone to come together and to co-create with us. Any closing remarks from Andrew as well?
Thank you again, Pablo. Well, I'm just going to say that everyone is welcome to join the Co-Creation Station, to start from their old average and go to their exponential growth, so that they'll enjoy most of the new things that haven't been yet discovered by their true self. So that's something that I can see with the members of our tribe. Since I joined in October last year, I've seen some transformation in the tribe. I've seen how the whole thing grows, and I can see the power in the co-creation myself. And I know that it's only something that's all it's just starting. So come join and be part with us.
Thank you, Andrew. And indeed, working together, anecdotally, I saw a video with Deepak Chopra and other scientists talking about how co-creation is really part of the human evolution scientifically. The human system is already multiple pieces, multiple cells, multiple parts of one whole working together. And Deepak Chopra was giving a very funny example of eating a banana. But when you eat a banana, it's a full system function that allows you to process. When one cell is not aligned with others, with one cell is not working as part of the system, it becomes cancer, it becomes disease, it becomes death. So for humanity to work together, that's really the next step for our evolution as well. And we would like to invite you to a meet and greet right after this. If you go to co-creationstation.co, you input your email, and Marcelo is also going to be there. He's one of our painters. And you see a pop-up, visit co-creationstation.co, you'll see a pop-up if you're watching this live. And in that pop-up, you can join us right after this for a meet and greet, to share with others, to chat, and for an art co-creation experience. Painting, writing, sculpting, and all the types of art, original compositions, music as well, and all types of original compositions built together in real time, inspired in each other with people around the world. So it's a magical experience. It's very powerful because it's the music inspired in the painting and the sculpting and the writing inspired in each other. And it is also energy stacking. So it's a powerful healing experience. Right after this, when you visit co-creationstation.co and click on the pop-up to just sign up and join us on Zoom. Thank you for the part of the team present here. Thank you to the rest of the team not present. Thank you so much for the opportunity, to Bernardo, to Sarah, to Laura, and thank you so much to the rest of the tribe and to everyone taking this opportunity to co-create with us for exponential growth. Thank you.
Great. Oh, wonderful. That was fantastic. What amazing people, and your energy just shines through even on Zoom, guys. You are awesome, all of you. Thank you so much for being part of the Best You today. It was great seeing you all on. It was a wonderful panel. We're going to run an ad now, and then we're going to come back and wrap up for the day. But thank you, guys. It was a real pleasure.
Thanks, Pablo. Great.
Thank you for the opportunity. Lots of love.
Thank you.
Thank you all. See you
Bye.
soon.
See you soon.
People want to be the best, become the best, learn from the best. That's why in 2021, the Best You TV will bring you its new TV series that will feature the top and the best speakers, coaches, authors, and mentors. Coming soon to the Best You TV.
Wow, what an incredible panel, but what an incredible day as well, Laura. I mean, we've had so many speakers. It's been phenomenal. And this is just one stage at the Best You Expo. Remember, there's so many other stages as well. So, I mean, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been part of today. It's been an incredible day. And the prize winners, congratulations. I read them out earlier at lunchtime. So you will be notified. If you've won a prize, you will get the prize. So there are some phenomenal prizes. I mean, huge like values that have gone to people. So amazing, absolutely amazing. And a big thank you to all our speakers as well for their amazing contributions. It's not always easy when you're presenting, and it's great that everyone has stepped up their game. It's been phenomenal. And Laura, it's been fantastic to have you with me this afternoon as well.
Certainly, Sarah. It was wonderful to co-host with you. I know you were on yesterday and today, so thank you so much. And looking forward to seeing Hugh tomorrow. You're perfectly right. Sarah, it was a phenomenal day. And as you mentioned, this is just one room, right? There's so many other things happening in other rooms and on stage. And it's really great to be here and to listen. There's so much to share and great energy coming together. So, and also for the team, there's a phenomenal team, or tech team or support team admin. They're working round the clock to make sure that everyone is supported and carefully guided and, to ensure that it runs smoothly. So thanks to them as well. And looking forward to our final day tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, wow, they've been working so hard and they're messaging us as we speak with ideas and things. I mean, they're constantly on the go, you know, and they were going before I even started this morning and they're still going now. So, I mean, they're all phenomenal. Well done, Michael. Well done, Alexandra. You've done amazing. And Bernardo, you joined me this morning on the intro, which was delightful to see my buddy there. And I promised him, I introduced him saying that I've known him for 25 years, Laura, and I said, but I was here to host, not to share his secrets. And then I said, well, maybe I'll share a few. Depends how the day goes. And then he pops up saying, no, you're not doing that. So it was nice to have him on this morning to meet the man himself, the brains behind it, because he is amazing. But Laura, I know you gave people tips this afternoon about taking notes. You know, so, you know, I really hope that people have been taking notes, like Laura said, and absorbing the information, because, you know, even if you just put one of these points into action, you know, it can really change your life, can't it? I mean, you know, Laura, don't you? Because we're talking about these things behind the scenes, that, you know, small things can make a massive difference, right?
Yes, absolutely. And you retain information also so much better when you write it down. You know, and please take advantage of all the offerings there. Connect with them, co-creation, you know, get together with all the other speakers, reach out to them, connect, and certainly follow the Best You Expo and all that we're doing at thebestyouexpo.com. There's so much more. We have the TV, we have just phenomenal things going on. And as Sarah mentioned, in 2022, there will be a huge women conference, which I'm very excited about. So there's so much to look forward to. And Bernardo Moyo is all about, he and his team is all about being creative and looking for new ways to serve and help people to improve and give them the support that that is needed, because, you know, it's just some trying times. But we will get through this. And this is one of the ways to get through it. Coming together, sharing, learning, and applying. That's the part, Sarah, that I am hoping our viewers will really do, to apply it, because it works. You know, the meditation, the reading, the just increasing your knowledge. And the more you know is the more confident you'll become. And just keep connecting with people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think today's been phenomenal. I mean, I've been immersed in personal development for the last 25 years. And every time, even just one little thing, you know, it can sometimes be the things that you don't expect to have those big impacts, but actually they do. So, I mean, there's so many things that we've learned today that were great. You know, the Best You TV as well is an amazing opportunity. Tune in, find it, listen to it, watch it. It's going to be like the best thing ever. There's already loads of content up there. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, obviously you're coming back tomorrow, right? You're coming back because we've got another list of amazing speakers tomorrow covering all topics. But then after that, and we've got the lovely Laura who'll be hosting as well. So you've got to come back and watch Laura, and Hugh's going to be joining her as well. So there's going to be some great stuff going on tomorrow. But also we've got the Best You TV that you can watch when it's done. So don't worry, when it comes to an end, you've got the Best You TV as well, which you can find. So that is another channel full of content to really help people, right?
And Sarah, as well as they can get involved if they'd like to be a part of the Best You TV. There are so many options available, and it's a great team to be a part of because they're constantly growing, and you know, so it's phenomenal. Great things are happening as we speak. So it really is an honor to be here.
Yeah, there's so many ways to get involved. Yeah, if you wanted to train to become a coach with some of the people that have spoken today, or me, or Laura, you know, you can then maybe one day find yourself on here as well. You know, it's a great platform, isn't it, Laura? You meet so many amazing people.
You really do. Yeah, and you know, Sarah, every time that, you know, I've spoken at the Best You or been involved with their initiatives and projects, people do connect and they stay connected. So this is not a one-off thing. People are actually open. When you reach out to them, they actually connect with you as well. So this is not just 3 days. This is an ongoing relationship. You hear reference being made to a tribe or a team. And this is really a family, a movement of learning and growing together and sharing. So it's really a phenomenal, you know, group to be a part of.
Yeah, isn't it? It's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey, and it's not over because it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's the Best Youth Expo, which I'm really inspired by. I mean, I've seen some people speaking. When I spoke in London last time, when we're actually allowed to be in person, there were some amazing kids that were speaking there. Really, like, well, I think that one of the boys was only 12 years old, and he was on the stage and he commanded the main stage, you know, and it was packed. So, I mean, there are some incredible, inspiring kids coming through. So it's great to see that new generation coming up and coming through as well. So, you know, we've got a great future ahead of us if people are immersing themselves in the information that we're getting. I mean, there's so many great things to learn, right?
Yes, and as you said too, Sarah, the younger generation, you know, it's so important to support them because, you know, they're the future, and it's all about paying it forward, you know, sharing what you know. So hopefully the next generation can be even better than we are. And that continues to be the trend, because as things evolve, you know, more challenges are presented, and, you know, it's just trying times, life in general. You know, they're even saying the next pandemic is likely to be mental health. So we have to monitor ourselves and make sure we're looking out for the signals and taking better care of ourselves as well, in terms of not just, you know, the body, mind, and soul, the entire package, you know.
Absolutely, the whole thing. And, you know, coming back tomorrow, if you're here tomorrow and you're in the workshops, then that's how you can win the prizes and the giveaways. You've got to be here, you've got to be watching, but there are some amazing thousands of dollars worth of prizes that we're giving away. So yeah, the giveaways the whole days, but you have to register, show up to win. And there's more than 80, it says at the bottom here, more than $80,000 worth of prizes in value. And I mean, some people today have won prizes that are $5,000 worth, you know, amazing prizes we're giving away. So do come tomorrow, sign up, come and join us, come and join Laura and Hugh in this room on this stage. Check out the main stage speakers as well. There's going to be some incredible people here.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Sarah, for co-hosting with me. It's a pleasure, and transitioning. And tomorrow, again, you mentioned Hugh, so I'm looking forward to being with you tomorrow and to listening to all the speakers and everything that's planned. It's going to be a great day. Please come back. I know it's a Sunday and everything, but it's well worth it. It really is. And it's good to see faces, you know? It's good to see faces.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Laura. You've been an amazing co-host. Hopefully we can do it again at the next Best You. I'm really looking forward to that. But yes, great day tomorrow. Have a wonderful time. Thanks, everybody, for attending today. We're going to see you out with an advert, but it's been great. Thank you so much for being part of it. Mwah. Lots of love.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Bernardo Moy. I'm the founder of The Best You and author of The Questions. And unfortunately, my father passed away at the age of 54. From an early age, I realized that I had to take responsibilities that I probably wasn't prepared for. It was a big crash. I didn't really understand the consequences of me not having a father, and I spent my life really looking for the father figure. If I fast forward a few years, I then got into real estate, and at the age of 26, when I already had my son, the first real estate came. I remember I had lots of people knocking on my door, all sorts of people coming round, you know, looking for money because I literally had to close my company down. And all the savings I had in this big box of chocolates, and we had these 100 peseta coins, which is the equivalent to a pound. When I took the last coin out, which the penny dropped, as they say, that was it. I bought my son a tin of lentils from the supermarket, and that was it. That was all the money I had. So I started in timeshare, and I was very lucky because I literally turned things around. Within a couple of weeks, I was making £1,000 a week. So I then went to my second entrepreneurship. I went to the second time to rebuild my real estate business, and I did. And I was refurbishing properties, redecorating properties, building them. I built this up, but then again, another real estate bubble. And this one caught me in a really bad way because I had tasted wealth. Okay, I thought I was rich. Luckily, I was already on a journey of self-discovery. I was already very interested in personal, professional growth. I've been reading books for many, many years. Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield, you name it. But it was NLP that really put me on the map. NLP that really positioned me to start understanding about my thinking, about becoming aware of my thoughts and really focusing. So when this real estate crash was coming, and it was coming bad, I dealt with it in a way that I didn't deal with it before. And that's where I started commuting from Spain to London for 3 years, and I started a completely different career in personal and professional growth. Did I have any idea about running personal development events? No idea at all. I was very passionate about it. I loved it, but I was good at sales and marketing. I could speak languages. I remember speaking to my wife and I said that I want to do this. And she said to me, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Well, yeah, because if not me, then who? And if not now, then when?" And that was it. I went for it. So I went to London with an open mind in looking at how I could potentially become the best version of myself, but also how I could help people. And I did that for 10 years with NLP Life Training, working with Dr. Richard Bandler, Paul McKenna, and some many great people. And it's been beautiful to see how through these trainings, we've trained over 25,000 people, how we've managed to help and enhance people's lives. But 5 years ago, I had my own questions. I wanted to come up with my own brand. And that's where I came up with the idea of the best you. Now, I share this normally. I could have called it the average you, the crap you, but the idea is that wouldn't work. And it doesn't work because everyone wants to become the best version of themselves. Of course they do. So I wanted to create a platform where all these great thinkers, authors, leaders could share their ideas in a place where, you could connect, you could go and find them. If I wanted, and I wanted to summarize kind of my journey and all this that I've shared with you now, I've shared it in my book, The Question. Because with all my NLP training, with all the people that I've interviewed, all the people that I've worked, all the people that I've been connected to, I've really identified that it is down to thinking. And it's simple. But the fact is, it really shocks me and scares me that so many people don't think about what they're thinking about. So my book, The Question, really talks about that, about us becoming aware of our thoughts, about asking ourselves empowering questions. Because I believe that if you do that, if you do ask yourself empowering questions, you unconsciously and consciously, you're going to start finding these beautiful solutions. You're going to start asking yourself these questions that need an answer. Because people go through life without asking themselves these empowering questions. That's what I've learned, and that's what I share in my book, and that's what I do with the platform. So I would love to help you. I'd love to explore how either through the platforms that we have, how you might be able to find inspiration with some of the people that I've interviewed or some of the stories that I've shared. I'd also love to work with you. There might be an opportunity for you to be able to speak at the Best You Expo. There might be an opportunity for us to work together through the Best You Legacy Club, where you could become potentially a director. There's many ways that we could work together. Look, I know I can't do this alone. No one can do it alone. We all need help. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to reach billions of people around the planet. Not millions, billions of people. And we can do this. And we can do this if we work together. If we work and we focus on the important things in helping individuals find their purpose, helping individuals really identify what their legacy is. Everyone has to ask themselves this question: what am I here for? And you have to do that before it's too late. So I want to thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Lots of love.